We're finally back home. But I don't see you here anywhere. Are you out doing something right now?
Oh, yeah, sorry. I stepped out to go do some shopping, so I am going to be away for a while longer, actually.
Oh, okay, I see. Well, have fun, I guess. I'll see you at home.
Shoot, right. I also have dinner plans with my parents later. But yeah, sorry. I thought you were not going to be home until later. What happened?
Well, yeah, that was the original plan. But then my mom said she wanted to leave early, plus the weather turned, so we just decided to call it.
The weather turned? You mean it got worse? But it's been sunny all throughout the afternoon.
You mean you really didn't notice anything? Oh, well, I'm impressed. Yeah, there were some mudslides and really strong winds, too.
Oh, really? I had no idea. I've been inside this department store the whole time. I must have just not bothered to look outside.
Well, it looks like it might get worse again later today, so Mom and I agreed to end our day early and I just came home.
That all makes sense. I'm sorry your plans fell apart, though. Were the two of you at least able to go see the play that you had tickets for? I hope that it was fun.
Yeah, we did actually. It was really, really great. And then we even went to a pretty fancy sushi place for lunch.
Oh, that sounds really good. It's been a while since I had sushi. What place was it?
It was this place that just opened and my mom read about in a magazine. It was really, really good.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Well, you have to tell me about what they had and maybe we can go. And also, I just wanted to say that I think you're doing really great, Melinda.
What do you mean by that, David? I didn't even do anything.
I just mean about how you're so good about spending time with your parents. But also how you sent that sweet fruit basket to my parents too. You just know how to make everyone happy.
Well, I'm just trying to give back to the people who have already given so much to us already, you know? Not just my parents, but yours as well. And if they really enjoy what I do for them, then that makes me happy too.
Yeah, at this rate I think my parents might end up liking you more than they do me. I just don't know how to please people like that.
Well, what if you did something like take them on a trip? I bet they would love to travel somewhere fun with you. I've heard that your parents have never really even traveled all that much before.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll do something like that.
I think that would be great. You could all go on a family vacation and it would make your parents really happy.
Actually, the more I think about it, the worse of an idea it sounds. I mean, traveling with my parents. That is going to be so embarrassing.
Well, either way, it's still a really good present. And I'm sure you'd enjoy yourself on a fun trip. Isn't that the point of all this?
I guess, but I can't just tell my parents that I'm taking them on a trip all of a sudden. If anything, they're going to think that I've done something wrong and I'm trying to hide it.
You really think so? Well, even so, I'm sure that they'll be grateful for the present once they realize nothing else was happening.
I don't like it. Maybe a daughter could get away with that, but not a son like me. They wouldn't buy it.
I don't think that it has anything to do with that, though. And why do you think anyone would suspect you of anything? It's just a nice gesture for your parents.
I know, but planning a whole trip is such a pain. And for 3 people, too?
Well, sure, it isn't the funnest thing in the world. But you implied to me that you wanted an idea of something you could do for your parents.
I guess so. I don't know, though. I still have my doubts.
All I'm saying is that our parents are getting up there in age. Everyone may still be healthy, but we never know when something might happen. I just think that if you could go on this trip with your parents, that it might be a good memory to have with them for you as well.
Okay, I get it. Jeez. Just let me think about it, okay?
Hey, David, I just wanted to let you know that I was going to go to my parents' house for this afternoon. I don't think that I'm going to be home in time for dinner, though, so you're going to have to fend for yourself tonight. Sorry.
You're going to your parents' house tonight? What's going on? Did something happen?
Well, my dad is in the hospital.
He is? So something did happen. What is it? Did he get hurt? Is he sick?
I'm not sure. Apparently he just started feeling unwell last night and they had to rush him to the hospital. He's been there since last night. I thought he was so healthy. How did this happen?
So then, how's your dad doing? Is he okay?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. They said he would probably have to stay at the hospital for a few weeks.
Oh, whew, okay. Well, that's a relief. I was getting worried there for a second.
I mean, it isn't like he's in critical condition or anything, but it does seem like this might pose some more long-term health problems for him. I would really like it if you could be there to see him. It would make me feel so much better.
Well, I'm not sure if I'll be able to take the day off. I won't be able to go in until work is over.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm not sure if visiting hours will still be happening then. But if you have some time to, I would really appreciate it if you could visit him.
Of course. And I'm really sorry that you're going through all this right now.
Well, it is what it is, I guess. But I'm probably going to be going back and forth from my parents' place until my dad is released from the hospital. I kind of have to, since you know that my mom can't drive and the hospital is so far from where they live.
Wow, that sounds like a lot to deal with. But of course, I don't mind if you do that. Is your job going to be okay with that?
Well, I talked to my boss about the situation, and they said that they were okay with me leaving a little early each day. But I have to go to work even earlier instead.
Ah, I see. Well, it's a good thing that your office is so flexible with that.
Well, I'm only working part-time, so I'm sure it's not a big deal for the company. But since I'm going to be driving around so much, I don't think that I'm going to be able to do as much work around the house.
Well, that really can't be helped, can it? But the timing really couldn't be worse.
The timing? What do you mean? Do you have something going on?
Well, I was just about to go take my parents on their trip, so I was going to be leaving soon.
Wait, really? You mean you think you're going to take them somewhere?
Yeah, I was thinking of going somewhere abroad, but now that your dad is in the hospital, this might not work.
Especially if you're going to be all the way in another country.
I know, but this is the only time of the year that we could all go. Otherwise, they'll be too busy for the rest of the year and won't be able to go. This might be the only time my parents ever get to leave the country in their whole lives. But now that your dad's in the hospital, I guess that it would be really rude to go on the trip, huh?
I know, but it sounds like you really want to go on this trip with your parents. I'm really sorry all of this is happening.
Do you remember telling me that our parents aren't always going to be healthy and able to do stuff with us?
Of course I do. We just talked about that the other day, before this happened.
Well, those words really stuck with me, and now this has happened to your dad. I mean, everyone gets sick. No one knows what tomorrow is going to bring them. You just really can't take anything for granted, can you?
I guess you really can't, can you? You really never know what's going to happen.
I have no idea when something like this might happen to my own parents. I mean, your dad loved to mountain climb, and even he got sick. If anything happened like that to my parents, I doubt that they would ever be able to travel after that.
You might be right about that, actually. Maybe you should just go on the trip with your parents. I'm sad that I won't be able to go, but I hope that the three of you have fun.
Are you sure about this? I mean, I could also just give my parents their tickets and let them go without me.
You could do that, but like you said, it would be their first time abroad, and I'm sure that they would want you there. Oh, please, David, just take the trip with your parents. My dad's condition isn't that serious yet. I'm sure you could go and come back.
Thank you so much for this, Melinda. This really means a lot. I promise to bring back lots of souvenirs to everyone.
I really wish that I could go with you. But I hope that you have a good time with your parents. Make sure to make a bunch of good memories with them. And have enough fun for all of us back home here. David, my dad passed away.
Wait, no. How could that be? What happened? I thought you said he was doing okay.
He was, but then this morning his condition suddenly worsened. Mom and I rushed to get to the hospital, but it was already too late.
Melinda, I'm so sorry. This all has happened so quickly. I don't know what to say.
I'm just shocked. I feel so confused and torn up inside.
I understand, Melinda, but be strong for your mom. I'm sure she needs you right now.
She was a huge mess when we got to the hospital. It took me a while to calm her down. She's on the phone with the funeral home right now. I was gonna start calling relatives and letting them know.
I still just can't believe it. I mean, how did it happen this quickly? You said he was going to be out in just a few weeks.
I know, I thought so too, but the funeral is going to be in a couple days apparently. Are you gonna be back by then?
I really don't think I will, actually. I mean, the flight back is already going to be over 10 hours, and that's assuming there are no delays or problems with the plan at all. Plus, I might not even be able to get the tickets to go back right now.
So, then you're not going to be able to be at the funeral?
I really don't think I can. I'm so sorry about this.
Well, it sounds like this really isn't your fault at all. I mean, you're abroad, and I shouldn't have expected you to be able to come home so soon.
Besides, if I tried to leave now, then I would be leaving my parents all alone, and I don't think that they would want that. It's just all so sudden, you know?
No, I really do understand. And thankfully, I think I can call on relatives to help me out. My brothers are already here to help arrange things with the funeral.
Oh, they're there too? Well, that's good. I'm glad you're not alone.
I'm just sorry about this. I bet that I've totally ruined your trip. I hope that you can still manage to have some fun.
You didn't do anything like that at all. And if anything, I should be the one who's sorry. I mean, I can't be there for you at this critical time in your life. Maybe I should have never taken this trip. Either way, I'll try and look into coming home early if I can.
I know, but I don't think we can really blame ourselves for this. I mean, who could have guessed that this would happen?
I know, but still, I'm just so sad that I couldn't be there to say goodbye to your dad. And then to not even make it to the funeral?
But it isn't your fault. I mean, just the other day, my dad seemed as healthy as he can be. Everyone thought that the doctor was right and that he would be out in a matter of weeks.
But then for this to go and happen? I guess you really just never know what life is going to throw your way next.
It really is true. So that's why you should make the most of this trip. We never know when we'll be able to do things like this again.
I suppose you're right, yeah. I know that if I didn't take my parents on this trip and something happened that would have prevented them from going, that I would regret that as long as I live. I really am happy that I've been able to be here and spend so much time with my parents. You were right about going on this trip. Hey Melinda, I'm just checking in to see how things are going for you. And I wanted to say again how sorry I am that I can't be at the funeral with you today.
Oh, that's okay. Thankfully, all is well and there was no incidents or drama. I had a lot of help from my relatives too, so I would say that everything went about as smoothly as it can for a funeral.
Please give them all my thanks for being there for you when I couldn't.
I'll make sure to let them know how grateful we both are to them, don't you worry.
Well anyways, I also wanted to let you know that I finally got a ticket back home, and I'm going to be taking the first flight back tomorrow morning. Then, once I get back, I can help with whatever you need from me. I wasn't there for you for all of this, but I want to be there for you now.
You finally managed to get a ticket back here? Well, that's okay, you don't have to come back early. Why don't you just keep enjoying your trip?
Wait, what? Melinda, please. I really am sorry that I can't be there for you right now, but you don't have to take that tone with me.
What? It's a text, there is no tone. But I'm not taking one with you, I really mean it. Do not bother coming home.
You mean like, at all? But why? I don't understand. Did something happen? Why does it seem like you're mad at me all of a sudden?
I'm not mad. I just wanted to let you know that once you get back from your little affair, that you won't even have a place to come home to.
My affair? What are you talking about, honey?
Oh, don't you honey me. Are you telling me that you aren't having an affair with that old classmate Vicky of yours? This must have been quite thrilling for you since the two of you were both married.
Wait, no. I really have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't do anything like that at all.
And here I thought you actually cared about spending time with your parents. How did I ever trust you?
But it really isn't a lie. I really have no idea what you're talking about.
Well then maybe I should ask your parents, since they were at the funeral as well.
Wait, they were?
That's right. Even your parents were kind enough to come to my dad's funeral, but not you.
But I don't understand. Why would they show up to something like that?
That's what I want to know. I was under the impression that they were busy traveling with you. But they told me that they knew nothing of any kind of trip anywhere.
But why would the two of them go to your dad's funeral? It doesn't make sense.
What are you talking about? Our parents stay in contact with each other. My mom told them what happened. Did you really forget how long our families have known each other? We grew up around the corner from one another. I think it's pretty natural that your parents would be told about my dad's passing and then show up to his funeral.
I don't believe it. I just don't even know what to say.
Well, you better think of something a little better than that for your sake. Now, start explaining.
And how'd you find out about Vicky?
Well, I was using your tablet while you were away, and you happened to leave your reservations open on the browser there. And that was when I saw only 2 names. You and Vicky.
So then that's it. You saw it all then.
That's right. Now let's stop with all the lies. I've already told Vicky's parents about what she was doing with you.
You did what? But how did you even get in contact with them?
Well, since we all went to school together, there were some mutual friends of ours at the funeral. I asked them if they knew how to get in contact with her parents, and then I told them. But I had no idea that she was married. That's gonna create quite a mess. I heard that they told her husband right away, and he called Vicky. Have you not heard anything about that at all? Her husband and parents know all about you.
Well, what about my parents? What do they know?
Everything. And they're just as mad as Vicky's parents. You should have seen how disappointed they were about this. I told them all about the trip I suggested you go on, and how you used that as a lie to try and trick me. Ugh, you're so pathetic. Do you even realize that?
No, please, you don't understand. This has to be some kind of mistake. I mean, I never thought I would get found out like this.
If you didn't want to get caught, it's because you knew that you were doing something wrong. Honestly, you're just the worst. So, anyways, again, don't bother coming home. In fact, you might not even want to, the way the rumors about you are spreading.
And just what is that supposed to mean? Who all knows about this?
I would say everyone that matters. Our family, relatives, and then whoever else they talk to.
Oh no, this is really, really bad.
You think you have it bad? What about me? My dad just died, and then I have to find out that you're cheating on me days before the funeral? You lied to me. But even after taking the shock of your affair, I still had to go through this funeral on my own.
I'm so sorry. I really did want to go home early, but it just wasn't a viable option. I'm sorry that this happened.
I don't believe a word you say anymore. I looked into flight delays around where you were staying, and there was nothing. There was no reason you shouldn't have been able to buy a ticket sooner.
You mean you went so far as to try and look in on what I was doing?
That's right. I was just so worried about why you couldn't come home that I looked it up myself. Did you really not want to come to this funeral so badly?
No, it isn't like that at all. It was just that the day of the funeral overlapped with reservations at this really famous restaurant, and I really didn't want to lose those plans.
So you thought it was more important to have a fancy dinner than be there for my dad? I don't even know what to say to that. But anyways, I have my half of the divorce papers signed and waiting for you whenever you come back.
You can't mean that you really want to get a divorce, right? Can't we just talk about this?
There's nothing left to talk about. Enjoy the rest of your trip. I hope you're ready for everything waiting for you back here.
Please, I'm so sorry for lying to you. You have to believe that I really do want to take my parents on a trip, and that I really am going to break things off with Vicky. Please, I never meant to cheat on you.
You might as well save your effort and can it with the begging. I don't want to hear one word of it.
I'm telling the truth, though. I'm sorry for everything. I had no idea that your dad was going to die. If that didn't happen, none of this would have happened.
Do not disrespect my dad by blaming his death on what was really your stupidity. And accept that we are getting divorced.
Wait, hold on, please. You have to forgive me. I don't want a divorce.
And how do I know that that wasn't a lie either?
It really isn't. I'm telling the truth. Please trust me.
Even yesterday I wasn't thinking of divorce. But now that I've had more time, it's the only thing that I can think of. But it's like you said, I guess you never really can guess what life throws at you. After that, David flew back home as soon as he could and was greeted with a stern talking to by his parents. Well, it was more like a grilling than anything. Vicky was also treated to her berating when she returned home. I followed through with my promise of divorcing David and sued him and Vicky for their affair. Given that we live in such a small town, though, it wasn't long before just about everyone knew what those two had done. They couldn't stand the social pressure anymore and one day just left town. I have no idea where they are or if they're even together now.
Hey Rachel, how's my mom doing? You went to visit her in the hospital again today, didn't you?
Yes, Henry. She's just the same as always. Just by seeing me, she goes into a foul mood. And then, of course, she starts complaining.
That does sound just like her. I guess she must be feeling just fine then.
This isn't something to joke about. Remember last time when I was overworked and collapsed from exhaustion? She didn't even have a shred of remorse for that.
Wait, what? Why should she be remorseful of that? What does you collapsing from exhaustion have to do with her?
Of course it has something to do with her. Do you know how much she always puts me through?
Well, I guess there's a bunch of things that you do for her, but don't you think it's going a little too far to blame all of that on her directly?
She uses me for errands and chores all of the time. Just because we live kind of close, she always calls me up demanding that I do something for her. And then she just continues to complain about me to my face whenever she sees me anyway. I don't think I'm going far in blaming her at all.
But it's not like she was doing that with bad intentions. She just wanted you to help her out with some things. That's just the way she shows affection.
That's what she calls affection? Honestly, it was at the point that when I heard she was in the hospital, I thought I could finally have some relief. No more endless errands every single day.
Come on, that's too much. You shouldn't feel happy about someone ending up in the hospital. Anyway, enough about that. How did everything go today? You were supposed to meet and talk to the doctors today, weren't you? What did they say?
Well, how about that? It seems that even after she leaves the hospital, she won't be able to manage on her own anymore. Someone is going to have to take care of her.
What? Really? Like a full-time nurse?
Yeah, it's partially because of her age and partially because of her physical condition. But they said that this entire time that she's been in hospital, she has barely moved from her bed. And it looks like this will just continue as it is even after they give her the all clear to go home.
Man, I don't believe this. We're in a bit of trouble if we have to pay up to hire a full-time carer so suddenly. What did my mom say to that?
She said that she'll leave all that up to you. It seems like she herself understands how bad her current situation is, so she's not even fighting the news. She seemed almost meek when talking about it. Of course, when it comes to me, her attitude hasn't changed a bit, though.
Really? She said she'll let me take care of everything? In that case, we don't have anything to worry about.
Really? You have some kind of idea? In that case, I can rest easy knowing that you have it sorted.
Why are you acting as though it has nothing to do with you? You're obviously the one who's going to become her carer.
What? I have to do it?
Yeah, that's obvious, isn't it? I'm at work during the day, so I can't be much of help. So, apart from you, who else could it be?
I know that you have work and all that, but still, you know that your mother hates me. That's why I've been having such a hard time recently.
It'll be fine. You just said that she has become a bit more weak than she was before, right? So I don't think things will end up like they did last time. It'll be fine.
Did you even listen to what I said before? She might seem more meek than before, but her attitudes towards me is still exactly the same. She still hates me and acts exactly like she did before. Caring for her wouldn't be good for either of us.
Come on, don't back out of this before you've even tried. Once you do it, you'll see that it'll be different this time.
And if I do start to care for her, what are you gonna do? Don't tell me that you're gonna leave absolutely everything up to me.
Don't say it like that. While you're caring for her, I'm still out working, aren't I? Things are just as difficult for both of us in that case.
Oh, give me a break. I can't look after her when she takes this kind of attitude with me. What, do you want me to collapse from exhaustion a second time?
I'm telling you that there's nothing to worry about. It'll all be fine. So just pretend everything is fine and do it for a bit. Then you'll see that it's fine.
It's easy for you to say since you're not the one who'll be doing anything. You always act like you don't care about me at all. I'm your wife, you know.
Of course I care about you. But this is the situation that we have right now. So what else is there to do? I know that it'll be extra on your plate, but I'm leaving it up to you. Hey, I just finished work. I had to stay late again. It's been tough recently. How about things on your end? How's Mom doing?
I can't stand this anymore. I really can't. Sorry, Henry, but can we please just hire a professional for this?
What are you talking about? You've been able to manage up until now. It hasn't been that much of a problem for you to be with her until she goes to sleep. I don't understand what the issue is.
It's not that I'm specifically worried about her at night or anything. Actually, I'd like to hire someone who can look after her during the day as well. I know that it'll be expensive, but can't we do anything about this at all?
That would just be a waste of money, so no, we can't. And anyway, you've already been doing it for a month. Haven't you gotten used to it by now?
It's not about getting used to it or not. This has nothing to do with time. She herself doesn't want me to be her carer. She is constantly acting up, and thanks to that, I feel like I'm the one who's going to start having health issues soon.
What do you mean she's acting up? She's just acting the same as usual, isn't she?
Any single moment that she has free, she just constantly complains and gripes to my face. Sometimes she even throws things at me.
Throwing stuff isn't good. That sounds dangerous. But everything else is the same as it's always been, isn't it? So just ignore her words. You don't need to pay attention to that kind of stuff.
That's not the point. I am seriously at my limit here, Henry. I'm going to overwork myself and end up in hospital again for sure.
My mom's situation has changed for her a lot too, you know. She can't do things on her own as she used to. But despite that, you're taking this kind of attitude towards her? She's the one who is really suffering right now. Think about things like this properly.
If you think she's suffering so much, then why don't you look after her? Why do I have to do it all on my own?
I told you before, I have work. You would just be at home doing nothing if you didn't have her to care for. Don't try and lump us together. I'm not just chilling at home doing nothing all day, you know.
Why can't you just help out on your days off at least? Or if that's too much, then help me out with some of the cooking and the cleaning. It doesn't matter what, but I need you to help me out a little bit somewhere.
I told you that you're responsible for my mom and for the house. That's your job, so you take care of it on your own. Why do you think that I should have to come home from work and then do even more? Don't be so spoiled.
It's easy for you to say because you don't know how bad it is. If we changed places, you would see just how hard it is looking after her all day.
It's not hard at all. I bet you just don't know how to do it properly, so everything seems more difficult. And that's why you start complaining about all of this.
But she complains about every single thing I do. Today, she threw all of the food I cooked for her onto the floor and told me that she would rather eat dog food. Or she'll keep complaining after I clean that everything is still dirty and make me do it again. It's the same thing every single day. I really just can't bear it any longer.
See, that's what I'm telling you. It's just the way you do things that's wrong. Whether it's cooking or cleaning, it sounds like you're not doing it right.
Then what am I supposed to do? I am doing everything as I normally would.
Well, Mom has her own likes and dislikes, right? So, instead of doing everything your normal way, you should do things in her way. That way she won't complain as much anymore because everything will suit her more. Just try and think of things from her position too.
Why do I just have to sit here and hear things like this from you? Do you really care about me at all, Henry?
Yep, there it is. Stop with this, will you? Every single time something happens, you start asking me that question. Stop acting like a little child. Asking me that is the same as complaining about me.
Are you telling me that I'm in the wrong?
I'm saying that you're not the only one who has it tough right now. I'm overloaded with work and worried about my mom's health. But you only think about yourself and come to me about how hard everything is. It's really annoying.
I see. So you think that I'm annoying?
Everyone is struggling in their own way, you know? Don't act like some tragic character who's the only one going through something. All you do by doing that is burdening those around you even more.
I see. You're right. I was wrong. I guess that acting like this must make your mom feel even worse than she already does.
Exactly. I'm glad you were able to see it. Instead of gritting your teeth and feeling like you were condemned to look after her, try just doing it with a smile. That will be better for both of you in the end.
Right, I got it now. From tomorrow, I'll follow your advice. I'll do things in her way. And of course, I won't forget the smile.
I'm glad to hear that. You know my mother and I are both relying on you here. So I'll say it again, but I'll leave her care to you.
Oh, that makes me so happy to hear. I'll make sure to fully meet your expectations. I'll keep doing my best, okay?
Hey, where are you right now? Why aren't you with Mom?
I needed to step out for a bit to do some shopping. But how do you know that anyway? Are you there right now?
She called a little while ago and asked me to come down and check on her. I was in the middle of my break, so I just had just enough time to come from work.
Oh, I see.
But what's going on? I don't understand.
What do you mean? Did your mom do something?
No, she's here crying about how she doesn't want you to be her carer anymore. But even if I ask her why or what happened, she won't tell me. What did you do?
I just did as you suggested before, remember? I've been doing things as she would do them. And of course, all with a smile.
There's no way you're doing things exactly as she wanted.
What? Of course I am. I'm not lying about anything. Why do you think I am?
If you did everything as she asked, then she wouldn't be crying. No matter how you look at it, an elderly woman crying means that something is not right. Seriously, what did you do?
Look, even if you ask me that 100 times, I'm telling you that I just did things exactly as she asked.
Enough with that. Just hurry up and tell me what you did. And there's no point in lying. I'll know straight away if you do.
I'm telling you that I didn't do anything that would upset her. She said that she would prefer to eat dog food, so I gave her some. And she said that I'm so bad at cleaning that I might as well not do it. So I didn't. See? I did everything exactly as she said.
What? Are you being for real right now?
Yeah, I am. Is something the matter?
Of course there is. Why are you even asking that question? You gave her dog food to eat.
Well, she was the one who said it would be better than my cooking. Everything I did should be exactly to her liking. She was the one who told me what to do after all.
Are you an idiot? That's obviously just a figure of speech. Why did you take things so literally?
Huh? Because you told me to. You were the one who told me to do things exactly as she said.
I obviously didn't mean that. What else did you do? Did you do anything else like that? If you did, tell me right now.
Let me think. Oh, yeah. She told me that I was a spineless worm who would never talk back to anyone if they were speaking rudely to me. So I made sure to really tell her what I thought of her when she started being rude. You should have seen her face.
What are you thinking? What are you trying to do here? Who do you take my mother for?
Your mother is your mother. I haven't treated her as anything else.
Then why did you do this to her? This is going way too far. Can't you tell the difference between right and wrong?
I'd like to ask you the same question.
What? Me?
Every time your mother harasses me, you just sit there smiling. And when I was in the hospital, did you care about me in the slightest? Of course you didn't. What is it that you take me for? The two of you are always treating me like crap.
What? That's not what we're talking about right now, though, is it? We're talking about what you have just done.
Why is it okay for the two of you to hurt me? But when I fight back even a little bit, suddenly it's not okay? Why is that? What right do you have? If you can explain that to me, then start talking.
I'm saying that these are two different situations.
How are they? It's the same thing. Come on, explain to me why it's only bad when I do it.
Oh, whatever. I've had enough of this. Anyway, just don't do anything like this again. What will we do if her condition gets any worse?
I'm sure she'll be fine. But anyway, I won't do it again. I got it all out of me. I promise it won't happen again.
I hope you're being sincere here. If you do end up doing it again, it won't end like this.
Don't worry. I was able to get all my negative emotions out. I have no intention of having anything to do with you two. So, let's bring everything to a close here, yeah?
What do you mean you won't have anything to do with us?
Well, I'm talking about getting a divorce. So, of course, I will no longer be caring for her anymore. That's why I won't do it again.
What? Are you being serious about getting a divorce? Why all of a sudden?
You think this is sudden? I've been thinking about it for quite a while now. I was just hoping that the two of you would change someday. That was the only thing keeping me from doing it earlier. But it's clear that neither of you will ever change.
Wait, just hold on a second. Why do we have to get a divorce?
Why shouldn't we? I should have divorced you when I was admitted into the hospital that time. What's the point of being with someone who never cares for you or helps you in situations like that?
Okay, I'll admit I was wrong back then. But that was then and this is now. Why does that have to lead to divorce? Who's going to take care of my mother if you go?
You do it yourself. We are going to be complete strangers very soon, and I don't plan on coming to the rescue of complete strangers.
Quit messing around. Do you think I'm going to forgive you the horrible things you just did to my mom? And now you're going to try and run away by getting a divorce? I won't allow it.
Well, if you put it that way, I guess it's fine. If you're really so against the divorce, I take back what I said.
Wait, really?
But in return, I'm going to continue to care for your mother as I did today. And if you don't like that, then I'll have nothing to do with her and you can look after yourself. Oh, and of course, I'm not going to be doing any housework at all from now either.
What are these conditions?
Conditions for me staying with a man like you.
Just wait a second here. What are you even talking about? Who would agree to anything like that?
Well, in that case, there's only divorce, I guess. I don't really care either way. Why don't you choose?
Neither one of them is a real choice.
But you do still have to choose one of them. So, which will it be? Whichever one you choose, it'll end badly for you. After After that, Henry chose to get a divorce and we separated like that. Luckily, he had lost any fight he had within him to stop the divorce once I told him the conditions on which I would stay, and the divorce was fairly simple and quick. I don't have any interest in what the two of them are up to anymore, but of course some rumors always filter through mutual friends and the like. Since I was no longer around to look after Henry's mom, he had to take on all the work by himself. He always refused to help me do anything at all, but in the end, he had to go to work, do the housework, and care for his mother all on his own. Doing just the latter two was hard enough, so I can't imagine what kind of miserable life he is living right now with having to go to work as well. Even after I left, his mother's attitude didn't change, and their relationship began to worsen. They still live together but are not getting along at all. On the other hand, I have finally been freed from that hellish household and am living my life comfortable and relaxed, all on my own. Up until now, I had to use all of my time for other people, but from now on, I'll use it to focus on myself. Ben, are you on your lunch break already?
I am. Did you need something? Mom, you're not going to ask me for more money, are you?
You don't need to sound so annoyed. It's not like I'm borrowing it because I want to.
You're not borrowing it, you're just getting it. You haven't given me any of it back even once.
I'm doing my best to economize as much as I can, you know. But as I get older, if something happens, I need more money than before. I have to go to the doctors for regular checkups and treatment. And recently the cost of living has gone up quite a lot, hasn't it?
You always say that. If you know that you need to use more money for your checkups and the rest of it, why don't you try and work a little bit yourself for it?
Oh, don't say that. I can't be working with my body in this state.
You say that, but there's nothing wrong with you. You just feel tired and lethargic on some days.
I get migraines too.
So do I. In fact, my wife gets them as well. A lot of people get migraines, but they still go out and work.
Oh, that may be true, but I'm old. It's not the same for you young folk. When I get a migraine, the pain is so bad that I can't get out of bed.
I understand that, but even if you get a part-time job and work for just 2 days a week, that would help you a lot financially. How about it? If you tell them upfront about your migraines, I'm sure you can find a job that will understand.
And what happens if I get a migraine on the days I have a shift? That will make it impossible to work. I'm sure that any job will prefer to hire someone who can make it to all their shifts without an issue instead of someone like me.
Then why not look for something that you can do from home? There are a lot of jobs that you can do on the computer these days.
I wonder about that. I don't think I could do any job like that. Remote work is for young people who are good with technology, not old people like me.
Mom, I really didn't want to say this, but if you are really struggling as much as you say you are, then why not go on welfare?
Welfare? Are you kidding me? I would never do that. It would be so embarrassing if people found out I was on welfare.
There's nothing wrong with being on welfare, and if you can't work because of your health, then there's nothing else for you to do. But you do still have money from Dad's inheritance and pension, so you might not qualify. You should ask somebody about it, and even if you don't qualify for it, they can help you find another way to improve your financial situation.
I don't even want to go to any center for a discussion. What if people see me coincide?
I don't think anyone will care about that at all. It has nothing to do with them. I'm married and have a kid, you know, and Lily will be going into elementary school soon, so I will have to start paying for that too. I can't always just be giving you money. I also have to think about saving for the future. Lily will go to college one day, and I need to be prepared in case of an emergency too.
But you have a good job and salary. Why are you saying that you don't have enough money to help me?
My job doesn't pay as well as you seem to think. I'm just an ordinary office worker. And if you keep asking me for money, it doesn't matter how much I try to save. It'll never be enough.
Then why doesn't your wife get a job too?
We talked about this last time. Sophie is pregnant right now.
Pregnant women can still work. I always see people even in the later stages working. She could just get a part-time job with not that many hours. That would be something at least. She's still young after all.
You say that you can't even do that because of your migraines. But you're going to be telling me that my pregnant wife should be working?
That's because pregnancy isn't a sickness.
That doesn't matter. Stop talking like this. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, but I really am in need of money. This can be the last time, but please help me out.
How many times do you think I've heard that it'll be the last time? I can't help you any more than I have already.
Please, Ben. I promise this time really will be the last time.
If that's the case, I want you to think about what you're going to do so you don't need to borrow any more from me. If you find a way that you can bring in some money on your own, then I will think about lending you some more. You're still only in your 50s. If you want to work, it shouldn't be that hard to find something.
Okay, I got it. I will find a part-time job then.
Will you really?
Yes, I promise. So this month, can you lend me about $500? You know that you're the only family left. I can't ask anybody else but you.
Okay, fine. I'll transfer you the money. But I'm going to check back in a week to see if you found a job. We can talk about that then.
Oh, thank you, Ben. That's fine. I'll decide what I'm going to do within the week.
Mom, how is work going? Is everything okay?
Well, it's not too bad, I guess. It's just data entry, so it shouldn't be too much of a strain. It's just pressing a bunch of keys all day. But even so, my eyes hurt from looking at a screen all day, and my shoulders get stiff so quickly. It's more of a strain than you might think.
That would be the same for anyone, though. I'm sure you will get used to it the more you do it. But if you can make about $500 working there on the side, you should be fine with all your expenses, right?
I wonder if $500 will really be enough. I haven't made anything at all yet. I keep asking myself whether there's even a point in doing this job at all.
Well, you've only just started. It's important to just keep going and things will get better.
Hey, Ben, would you be able to send me some money this month too?
What? Why? You said that last time would be the actual last time.
I know that, but I won't get paid for at least another month.
What am I supposed to do about this month? You have a house, so you don't need to pay anything urgent like rent. Plus, if you still have money from the inheritance, the bigger problem is that you still can't get by somehow despite all of that.
I've been telling you there are things I need that take a lot of money.
Can't you just find some way to economize this month and make it through until you get paid?
No, otherwise I wouldn't be asking you.
Don't tell me that you've already spent all of Dad's inheritance.
No, I haven't done that. But I'm thinking about my real old age and I don't want to use it.
I understand that, but it's there to be used.
Can I get you to send me $800 this month?
No, I won't. I told you that already. I'm going to have a lot more expenses than I've had up until now very soon. Sophie and I need to start paying for Lily's school supplies and fees, and I have a second baby on the way. I can't just be handing out money to you.
Oh, Ben, come on, help your mother out.
No, not this time. I think I've spoiled you too much up until now. Things can't keep going on as they have been. This month, you have to try and figure things out on your own.
Then how about I pay for Lily's school supplies and fees?
What's the point in that? If you have money to buy those, then just use the money for yourself.
Well, that's not quite what I mean. I mean that I will start to pay you back the money you've given me so far, so you can use that to pay for her.
You're really going to do that? You haven't returned a single cent up until now.
Of course I will. That's why I started working. Plus, I haven't even been able to do anything for Lily, even though she's my granddaughter. I felt so bad about that the whole time.
I see. But even so, I'll just accept the intention. I want you to take a look at your lifestyle and see what needs to be changed, so that you can live by your own means.
But Lily's school fees for her first year at school only come once, right? I would like to be the one to pay for that as her grandmother.
Even if you say something like that, it's still a no. This time, I really can't give you anything. This has happened just too often.
But I'm begging you, Ben. You know that you're the only family member who I can ask.
I know that. You always say that. But I want you to try and see things from my point of view. If you plan on continuing to borrow money from me like this, I might need to reevaluate our relationship as mother and son.
What do you mean by reevaluate? Do you mean you're going to sever ties with me?
That's something that I have honestly thought about before. I just really want you to fix the way that you use money. You can't just always rely on me to bail you out.
Oh, I understand. I'll stop asking.
I'm sorry, Mom, but it's just been too much.
Then at least let me pay for Lily's things for school.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
But I want to give her something as her grandma. Let me do this at least.
Even though you're here asking me for money?
Oh, it will be fine. I'll get things ready, okay?
Sophie, how was the checkup today?
Everything was good. The baby is healthy.
That's good to hear. It's Lily's first day of school next month. Do you think you'll be able to attend the ceremony?
I think I will. The baby is due next month, but it should be okay. I wanted to talk to you about the things Cindy sent us.
Right. They arrived then? Sorry, I didn't mention anything, but Mom wanted to send some school supplies for Lily.
Yeah, they arrived, but I took them to the police.
What? Why the police?
I think all the supplies that she sent us were stolen.
Are you kidding me? Why do you think that?
I just happened to hear a story about a girl who got her backpack stolen from a park with all of her things inside it.
Okay, but why would that mean the things Mom sent are stolen?
Nothing was in its packaging and had all been wrapped up just in newspaper. It's not for certain, but it seems strange to send things like that if she had just bought them.
Oh, seriously? I'm so sorry. So what did the police say?
They said that they'll look into it, but that there's not really much they can do. I only just handed them in, so I guess they will contact me later. Ben, this time is really too much. I've tried to be really patient with Cindy up until now, but...
I know. I'm really sorry about this.
I know that it's not your fault. Don't think that I blame you for this. But I can't defend Cindy's actions at all.
No, you're right. I should have been more strong with her before. I'm sorry that it had to come to this. Let me know as soon as the police contact you.
Ben, did the school supplies arrive?
Yeah, they did.
I hope Lily likes them.
I wonder.
Oh, what do you mean? She didn't like them? What did she say?
Mom, what did you have in mind when you sent that?
What do you mean? I just wanted to do something for my granddaughter. But in the end, it all cost quite a lot. So because of that, sorry, but could you send me a bit of money after all?
I told you that I'm not sending you any more. Did you think that I would send you more money just because you sent Lily some supplies?
No, of course not.
Anyway, where are you right now?
Oh, what do you mean? I'm at home working on the computer.
No, you're not. I'm there right now.
Oh, really? Well, actually, I'm out because I'm going to meet a friend.
Then why did you lie to me?
Oh, I just thought you would have something to say if I wasn't at home working. But I'm just out today to get coffee with a friend.
That's also a lie, isn't it?
You're going to see your favorite singer live, aren't you? What? What are you talking about?
I asked the neighbors, and they said that you went upstate for a concert. Plus, you have a whole lot of merch here in your house. What is this? Have you been using all of the money I sent you for this?
Well, none of that stuff is really that expensive. It's fine to blow off a little steam every now and then, surely.
And the concert tickets, and the trip upstate, is that also not that expensive? And judging by all the ticket stubs here, you've been going to a concert at least once a month. I can't believe you've been messing around like this.
Oh, this is my one and only hobby. Are you going to tell me that I can't even enjoy myself?
If you have no money, then you should at least reel it in. And the stuff that you sent to Lily, that was all stolen, wasn't it?
What? Of course not.
There was a girl recently who got her backpack stolen with all of her school things inside it.
Oh, so what? That doesn't mean that what I sent you was stolen.
The bag you sent wasn't in a box or in any packaging, and it definitely had signs of use too. You definitely did not buy these things new.
The packaging was just getting in the way, so I threw it away before I sent it. You guys would have had to throw it away anyway.
But you just sent it in a random cardboard box?
Why does that matter? I had it lying around, so I sent the bag in that. The bag is perfectly fine.
Maybe at first glance, the girl who used it before was only in her first years, so of course she hadn't used it that much yet, and it is still in fairly good condition. But her name is on it.
What? Whose name?
The girl from whom you stole the bag. You might not have noticed it because it was on the inside of the main pocket and not on the outside of the bag.
What? There must be some kind of mistake.
I wish that it was a mistake, but it clearly isn't. But we took everything to the police, and they confirmed that the name matched the girl who had her bag stolen recently. So, what are you going to do? Keep lying to me?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben.
So you admit it then?
I just really wanted to give Lily a present before she started school.
Even so, do you think any of us would be happy to get something that you stole from someone else? Thankfully, it wasn't a student at the school Lily is going to go to. But what if it was? Imagine what would have happened to Lily if that girl realized that Lily came to school with her bag that had been stolen before and started spreading rumors. Lily might have been bullied or viewed badly. And in the first place, stealing is bad, especially from a child. What were you thinking?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything bad by it.
How could that be? There's nothing good about what you have done.
But it's better than stealing from a store, right?
It doesn't matter where or who you stole it from. Stealing is stealing. How could you steal it from a little kid who had put it down to play in the park? What was going through your mind?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ben. I'm really sorry.
You should be apologizing to the girl who you stole it from, not me. You should just go and own up to what you did, and maybe things won't end up as badly for you.
What, I need to turn myself in? And what's going to happen to me? Will they arrest me?
I doubt that they will arrest you, but they might make you pay a fine at least.
Oh, what should I do? I wonder if the neighbors will find out about this. I don't want there to be rumors spread about me.
I guess you really do only care about yourself. You're not thinking at all about how we or the girl whose bag it is feels.
But the girl got all of her things back, didn't she? And it doesn't have that much of an effect on you and Sophie.
That's it. I'm going to have nothing more to do with you.
What? Why does that have to happen? If you cut ties with me now, I won't be able to survive on my own.
If you stop wasting your money on your hobby, then you'll be fine. Stop acting so spoiled.
Ben, I'm sorry. I promise I won't do anything like this again. It was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
I don't want to hear your excuses. They're not going to satisfy me anyway.
I won't ask you for any more money. Oh, please, just don't abandon me. In truth, I don't have any left of your father's inheritance either.
I thought that might be the case, but it has nothing to do with me anymore. You brought this on yourself.
I'm so sorry.
I knew that you had no one else to rely on except for me, so I tried to be as patient as I could. But I can't do it anymore. You wasted all of the money from Dad, and even went so far as to commit a crime? I can't think of you as my mother anymore.
But I have no one left except for you. Oh, don't leave me all alone like this. I'll change and I'll stop wasting my money, I promise.
I wish you could have done that a little earlier. Just because we're related doesn't mean that I have to put up with just anything. I've done all I could to help you up until now, but I've had enough. We're not family anymore, so you need to figure out how to live by yourself without relying on anyone. After that, Mom went to the police and told them that she was the one who had stolen the bag from the girl. She met with the family and ended up resolving the situation. They felt bad for her because of her age and didn't try to press charges or anything like that, especially since the stolen things had been returned. Later, my mom had to move to a small apartment so that she would be able to pay the rent and had to stop indulging in her hobby so much. For a while, she continued to call me over and over again, hoping that I would pick up, but I never did. The last I heard about her was that she was continuing her data entry job at home and barely leaves the house because she feels so ashamed about what she did and doesn't want anyone she knows to see her. The girl who had had her bag stolen went to a school in the next district to where Lily was supposed to be going next year, but we changed the school to one a little further away, just in case some rumors did start to spread. It would be horrible for Lily to go to a school where the other students were talking about how her grandmother had stolen a bag from another student. It isn't easy to abandon your own mother based on their actions, but there was nothing else I could have done. I put up with her and her actions for long enough, and in the end, this was the only way things could end. I feel bad in a way for how things ended up, but at the same time, she brought this all on herself and got what she deserved. From now on, I hope she can reflect on her behavior and change at least a little. Now that I don't have to constantly lend her money, my own family's daily life has improved significantly, and we can live without worrying too much about expenses. I thoroughly apologized to my wife for letting things go on as long as they had, and thankfully, she forgave me. From now on, as the foundation of the family, as a husband, and as a father, I will make sure to focus on those who are truly important to me and work to help them live their lives happily.
Sup, Demi? I was supposed to be going over to my parents' place next week, but would you mind watching the house instead?
If that's what you want, honey. I feel like I owe you an apology, though.
Why are you apologizing? I'm the one asking you. It's fine, really. It can't be helped.
But I've barely been to your parents' house at all ever since we got married. I can't help but feel I should have made more of an effort. I'm sorry, honey.
It's cool, they really don't mind. They understand the situation, babe. They don't hold it against you. It's my big sister who's the problem. You don't have anything to apologize for.
Okay, thank you.
But damn, she really is a pain in my backside. I feel like she's had it in you since the day you met. Do you have any idea what her problem is? Has she ever said anything to you about why she gives you such a hard time?
Nope. I could count the number of times I've met her on one hand. I can't think of any reason why she'd be so hostile towards me. I've always tried to be polite and friendly with her. I guess she just doesn't like me. Like you said, she's been cool towards me ever since day one.
I'm so sorry for all the crap she gives you, Demi. You don't deserve it. I'm gonna try speaking to her.
It's fine. You really don't have to do that. I appreciate the thought, but we virtually never see each other, so even if she does hate me, it's like, meh, whatever.
But still, it's not fair that you have to stay home every time I visit my parents' place just because of my sister and her mystery grudge against you. My parents would love to see you more. To tell you the truth, I'm sick and tired of her.
This got me thinking. What was she like with your ex-wife? Was she like this with her too?
My ex-wife? Nope. She was nothing like this. I never noticed any signs of trouble at all. I don't know what's gotten into her. She accepted my ex-wife. She behaved like you'd expect any normal human being to behave back then.
You said the reason you two divorced was because your personalities didn't match, right? Did your sister have anything to do with it?
Nope, nothing at all. I hate to tell you this, Demi, but they got on like a house on fire. They were virtually inseparable. Our divorce was entirely down to us not being a good match. There was no third-party involvement.
I knew it. I must have done something to upset her. That must be why she hates me.
No, sorry. Maybe I made it sound like that just now. But you didn't, I'm sure of it. You've done nothing wrong, so you better not go feeling guilty or searching for reasons why this is your fault, because it ain't. My sister's just being a dick, and that's all there is to it. Chill out and don't let her get to you, okay, babe?
I hope you're right.
You bet I'm right. This is absolutely, undoubtedly 100% not your fault. Besides, my mom and dad are always singing your praises like it's no one's business. They think you're so amazing that they never hesitate to tell me how they think you're out of my league every time I see them. They seem confused by the fact I managed to bag myself such an incredible wife. So just forget about it. You haven't done anything wrong.
Wow, they say that about me? That's sweet, but I'm really not that special.
Don't be silly. You were kind enough to marry a balding divorcee like me. You're pretty damn special in my eyes. Not only that, but your cooking's to die for.
You're not balding? Well, okay, fine. Maybe just a little. But really, it makes me so happy to hear you say that. Thanks, Dom. Okay, we're gonna have to change the subject now. I think I'm about to cry. Damn, I feel so vulnerable tonight.
You're probably just tired. I bet that's the only reason you're so bothered about my sister. Anyway, it's settled. I'll stay over at my folks' place on my own next week. You should enjoy some you time, babe. You work hard. You deserve to relax and decompress every now and then.
I might just do that.
Demi, I'm so sorry to spring this on you out of nowhere, but is there any way you can make it to my parents' house right now?
Huh? What? Like right now?
Yeah, there's something important we need to discuss with you.
Your sister's there, isn't she? I'm not sure if this is a good idea. Can't we do it over the phone?
Look, I know it's not fair of me to come at you out of the blue like this and understand exactly how you must feel, but my mom and dad want to speak to you in person. Apparently, it's about my sister.
What about your sister? Could it be that they want to talk about the way she treats me?
Right, that. I get the feeling that they've been looking the other way and pretending it wasn't going on this whole time. They always had a vague apprehension that there was anonymity there, but neither of them ever mentioned it to her. You know, because she's family and all. They probably didn't want to cause a row. I think my mom and dad tried to convince themselves it wasn't a big deal, that it would solve itself in time.
I guess that makes sense. It's true, no one's ever said anything to her about her inexplicably rude attitude towards me. So your parents didn't want to rock the boat, huh?
Right, but I knew it couldn't go on like this. So I told my mom everything and sat her down with my sister. Like I mentioned just now, it turns out they had a feeling there was bad blood between you. She actually seemed relieved when I told her, and she was happy to help me try and get to the bottom of it.
I see.
Let's face it, even if they did stick their heads in the sand, there's no way they could claim ignorance when I confronted them with it. My sister never even tried to hide it. Back in the early days when you used to come here, she was so rude and disrespectful, constantly making snide remarks and poking fun at you. Then when you finally stopped because it all got too much, she said if you had the nerve to show up again, she'd give you the marching orders. I told her it ends now.
You did? What did she say?
She said she wants to apologize to you.
Your sister wants to apologize to me? Are you joking?
She actually seems remorseful. This is the first time anyone's ever called her out on it, so maybe it gave her a genuine pause for thought? I don't know. But she's the one who said she wants to apologize. No one is making her. Looks like things are finally going to improve from here on out.
I see. Thanks so much, Dom. I'm so grateful to you and your parents for getting together and doing something about it.
No, if anything, I should be apologizing because it took me so long. I should have done this ages ago.
They are your family. I get that this wasn't exactly an easy conversation to have. I'm super grateful you did this for me, honey.
Does that mean you'll come?
After everything that's happened, it might not be so easy for me to believe she's being genuine. So I can come, but I can't say whether or not I'll be able to trust her. Is that alright?
Of course, it's only natural you'd feel that way. I'm her brother, and I can't even say I trust her 100% myself. It's normal that you'd have reservations after everything she's done to you. I'm not gonna condemn you for that.
But is this really a good idea? Is it really okay to accept an apology when I feel like this? If she does really mean it, I feel like it'd be kinda unfair towards her.
She's the one who's been treating you unfairly, babe. You don't have anything to feel bad about. She should know it's gonna take time for you to forgive her. Why don't you at least hear out her apology and consider what she has to say? You don't have to forgive her straight away or ever if you don't want to.
Okay. I can't promise we'll be best buds after this. But if she says she wants to apologize, I'll hear her out.
Great, I really appreciate this, Demi. Hopefully we can all start moving in a positive direction together now.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyway, I'm gonna start heading out to your parents' place now. It'll take me about 2 hours. Is that okay?
Sure thing. Remember to drive safe, though. You don't have to rush on our behalf.
Demi, where are you right now?
Huh? Addison, you've never messaged me before. This is a little surprising.
Forget about that. Where are you right now?
I just stopped by the convenience store near your mom and dad's house. I was just about to message John to let him know I'm close by. I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
So you really are on your way here. I'm so sorry about this, but you have to go back. Dome told me you were coming to my parents' house today. You absolutely must not come. You need to go back home, now.
Huh? But why? Is it because you still don't like me? Was all that stuff about you wanting to apologize a lie?
I see, so that's how he did it. He told you I was going to apologize, did he? What dirty, underhanded tactics. I can't believe it. Did you hear me? You're not to come here under any circumstances. Go home. If you come, they'll never let you leave.
What? What's that supposed to mean? I really thought me and you could finally mend fences and start getting along. Why are you doing this? Is the thought of meeting me that unbearable to you? Do you hate me that much?
I understand you're cautious about me. After all, why wouldn't you be? I'm the one who's been treating you awfully all this time.
It's only natural that you hate me, and I don't blame you. So you're actually aware that you've been horrible to me? In that case, why would you do this now? None of this makes any sense.
I'm doing this to protect you. I don't expect you to believe me after how cold and heartlessly I've treated you this whole time, but it's the truth. I want you to listen to what I'm about to say very carefully. You must not come to my parents' house under any circumstances.
How can you expect me to unquestionably do what you say despite Dom asking me to come? He's my husband, and you're my bully and arch nemesis apparently. The least you could do is give me an explanation. How am I supposed to make a judgment if I don't even know the reason? I've been driving for nearly 2 hours to see you guys, and now you're suddenly telling me to go back?
I want to tell you more than anything, Demi. Really, I do, but it's complicated. Even if I did explain right now, I doubt you'd understand.
What are you saying I should do then? Blindly accept what you're saying without so much as a hint of an explanation for these crazy claims you're making? You're asking too much of me here, Addison. This is ridiculous.
I understand that, but I can't let you come here.
This is pointless. If you want to talk to me, you can talk to me when I arrive in the presence of my husband, okay?
No, not okay. Just wait. How many times do I have to tell you? You must not come to this house. I'm serious. You said you're at the convenience store near the house, right?
Right. What of it?
Okay, I'm gonna slip away while no one's looking. I'll come to the store and we can discuss this in person, but whatever you do not come to this house. I'm begging you. I'll tell you all about why coming here would be the biggest mistake of your life, and I'll prove it too.
Me in person? Just me and you?
I understand you're apprehensive, but it's not like I'm trying to lure you into some kind of trap. Besides, we'll be out in public, where everyone can see us. I just want you to know the truth, that's all. Once I've told you everything, you can decide what to do for yourself. I just can't let you come here without knowing everything first, okay?
Got it. But just so you know, if I'm not convinced by whatever it is you've got to say, I'll be going to your parents' place, just like Dom asked me to.
Fine, and that'll be your prerogative. All I ask is that you don't rush into it without knowing what's actually going on. Thank you, Demi. Alright, sit tight at the store. I won't be long. I'm leaving right now.
Demi, are you there? Please respond to my messages. Please will you come back, baby? Me and my parents aren't angry with you for running away. I swear we just want you back. Surely it's not fair of you to pull a vanishing act like this all of a sudden without even so much as an explanation. Did I do something wrong?
Sorry it took me a while to get back to you. I had a lot of preparations to make. You must have been really worried about me.
Is this really you, Demi?
Is it really me? It's my phone number, isn't it? What do you think I am? Some kind of imposter?
Right, of course. I'm so pleased to finally hear from you. Anyway, are you okay? Are you safe? My sister is nowhere to be seen either. Me and my parents are beside ourselves with worry.
Me and Addison are both fine. Or rather, we've been together the whole time.
You're with my sister? Are you okay?
Yup, just peachy. Forget that. I have something far more important to discuss with you. You ready for it?
Ready for what? I mean, sure. What is it? Hang on, Demi. Can't this wait a little longer? Won't you just stop by to see my parents first? They're really excited to see you. We've been so worried about you both. It wouldn't hurt to show your faces for a few minutes, right? Mom and Dad haven't been sleeping or eating properly. This whole thing is really wreaking havoc on their mental health. Seeing your faces again would put their minds at rest.
I don't think that's a good idea. Besides, why would I? Me and you were getting a divorce after all.
What the hell? What did you just say? Wait, is my phone bugging out?
I said me and you are getting a divorce, so I won't be coming to your parents' house. It should go without saying I have no intentions of meeting them.
Whoa, slow down a sec. What the hell are you talking about? Divorce? Why would we get a divorce? Why are you springing divorce on me all of a sudden? Did I do something wrong?
Not yet, but you did plan on it, didn't you?
What's that supposed to mean? I want an explanation.
Your sister Addison told me everything. She saved my life. She told me all about your ex-wife Gina, and the real reason she divorced you.
The real reason she divorced me? I told you, babe, it was because we weren't cut out to be together. It was nothing dramatic, I swear. I already explained all this, don't you remember? We divorced because our personalities weren't a good match. There was no other reason.
I wish that were true, because if it was, we could have stayed together. But that won't be happening now I know what I know. I don't want to become the next Gina.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Are you feeling okay? Did you hit your head? I barely recognize you anymore, Demi. Me and Gina divorced for the same boring, conventional reasons most other couples do. I have no idea what she's doing these days, but other than the stress of the divorce, she seemed just fine when we went our separate ways. I'm sure she's doing great.
Sure she is, if you call having a nervous breakdown and living in a psych ward for 3 months great. She's out now, but she got institutionalized because of what you and your mom did to her. Did you know?
Well, what the? Wait, how do you know that?
Because your sister rushed out to meet me on the day I was supposed to be coming to your parents' house. She told me everything. She told me how you and your mom forced your ex-wife to be your live-in slave.
Huh? What the hell kind of moronic bullcrap is this? You're not seriously telling me you believe my sister, are you? I've never heard such a pile of bunk in my life. Did you forget how my sister treated you? Did you forget about how much she made you suffer? Gina's a stranger to me and my family now. How the hell would my sister know what was going on with her after all this time? Addison's just playing her twisted games like always. You shouldn't even give her the time of day. I bet she feels so pleased with herself at tricking you like this. Don't let her spoil things between us with her sick schemes.
You seem pretty desperate to convince me. Did I hit the nail on the head?
Like hell you did! No, no, and no, you couldn't be more wrong. All I'm doing is telling you you've been had. She cooked up some outlandish story to drive a wedge between us and you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Don't believe a word she says.
It wasn't just words. She showed me proof of what you guys did to Gina.
Proof? What are you talking about? How can you prove something that never happened? More lies! She probably faked a bunch of stuff to trick you, and you were actually gullible enough to fall for it.
Apparently Gina had reached her physical and emotional limit by the time she divorced you. She was barely eating, barely sleeping. Even talking was difficult. A shadow of her former self, to quote your sister. It's true, isn't it?
What are you talking about? I don't have a freaking clue what you're trying to accuse me of here.
Don't play dumb. She was physically and emotionally broken. She got carried away in an ambulance and admitted to the hospital the day before the divorce. You probably thought you'd get away with it because she would have been too ill to collect any evidence, didn't you? And even if she did accuse you of anything, you could have just called her crazy.
Stop with this crap right now! What the hell has gotten into you all of a sudden? Are you so desperate to paint me as a villain that you'd make up vicious lies about me?
I'm not trying to paint you as anything. That's what you are. It's true, Gina was in too much of a bad shape to gather any proof on you back then. But your sister was keeping records of everything you were doing to her the whole time. Which is why there are mountains of evidence of your sick, immoral, illegal treatment of your ex-wife, and I've seen all of it.
Wait, what? My sister?
She knew that when Gina regained her strength, there was a chance she'd want to press charges against you. So she kept records of anything she thought might help her case.
Well, she didn't end up pressing charges, did she? So, if I'm such a monster, surely she would have gone to the cops. If it's like you say and there's mountains of evidence of all this stuff I supposedly did, I would have been thrown in jail way back. The fact I'm a free man means you're lying.
Gina was completely broken when you were done with her. You caused that poor woman unimaginable levels of trauma that she'll be dealing with for the rest of her life. She doesn't want to remember you or your parents again for as long as she lives, and going through a court case would mean dragging up all those painful memories. Instead of taking revenge and pressing charges, she chose to keep her distance and try to forget about you. You can hardly blame her for that.
In that case, why the hell has my sister been living at my mom and dad's house all this time? She hated us so much that she gathered proof of all this stuff we were supposedly doing behind our backs. Why didn't she just get away from us?
She was waiting for Gina to make her decision. The last thing she wanted was to open up all those old wounds by rushing her. And she thought that if she stayed at the house, she might be able to gather extra evidence by eavesdropping on the off chance you guys ever talked about what you did.
Okay, then why did she bully you? You do remember how horrible she was to you, don't you? How the heck can you be so pally with your abuser all of a sudden? Think about it, she treated you exactly how you claim me and my folks treated Gina. Except we definitely know she bullied you, but with my ex-wife, all you have is baseless speculation.
She did what she did to protect me.
Which part of bullying counts as protecting you? Have you actually listened to what you're saying right now? It's crazy! She went out of her way to hurt you as much as possible.
The only reason she bullied me was so I would stay away from your parents' house. She wanted to stop me from meeting the same fate as Gina. You have no idea how much finding all this out has hurt me, Dom. But it would have been far worse if your twisted plan came to fruition. She knew what was in store for me, and she took action in the only way she knew how. It's over. You won't get your way now. Gina's pressing charges against you.
Whoa, wait a sec. Did you just say Gina's pressing charges?
We met up, and after a long discussion, she came to a decision. She was going to keep quiet, but after finding out you were planning on doing the exact same thing to someone else, she knew you had to be stopped. It's over, Dom.
Do not screw around, Demi. Does that stupid bitch seriously think I'll let her get away with this? Just because she was so damn lazy that we couldn't find any use for her anymore does not mean she has the right to come after me. She will pay.
Finally, your true colors. You're despicable. The most despicable person I've ever met.
You shut your whore mouth! Do you have any idea how difficult things were for us after she got admitted to hospital? Do you have any idea how hard we had to work to find a replacement for her? And she's pressing charges against me? Do not make a fool of me!
No one needs to make a fool of you. You're obviously capable of behaving like a moron all by yourself. How many years of Gina's and Addison's lives have you and your parents wasted with your sick modern-day slavery operation? As if that wasn't enough for you, you planned on taking me captive as your next victim.
So what if we did? It was my ex-wife's own dumb fault for not figuring it out, and it would have been yours too.
You're right. It's important to figure things out, isn't it? Like figuring out that if you kidnap and hold someone captive, wasting years of their life and destroying their physical and mental health in the process, there will be consequences. You guys didn't figure that out. And now you're gonna pay the price by suffering just as much as you made her. After Gina rose to action to prevent her disturbed ex-husband and his parents from claiming another victim, she found out that it was possible to claim compensation up to 3 years after the finalization of the divorce. She took her case to civil court, where word of dastardly Dom and Crew's abhorrent misdeeds finally came to light in front of a judge, and they were finally exposed to the world. To clarify, what was important here wasn't necessarily winning the case, but to expose the three of them publicly for what they did. The case was so sensational, it made its way onto national news, after which Dom and his parents became notorious as that psycho family who kidnapped their daughter-in-law, thus turning them into despised social outcasts. Thankfully, as a result, the chances of them finding more victims is slim. While victory wasn't the main goal, it was of course desirable that they win the case. Addison's diligent evidence gathering and Gina's first-hand witness testimony proved to be an unbeatable combination, and the case was won without issue, thus cementing both the destruction of Dom and Co.'s reputation and the compensation payments. After Dom's co-workers, along with the rest of the county, saw the piece on national news, he became a pariah at work and soon felt so unwelcome he had no choice but to hand in his resignation. At the same time, the town rumor mill began operating at full capacity, and before long, the three of them became neighborhood outcasts, the butt of every joke, and the targets of every disdainful glare. They wanted to move away more than anything, out of the country if possible. But between Dom losing his job, owning thousands in monthly compensation payments, and his parents already being well past retirement age, The reality of their circumstances weighed down on them too heavily, and now they have no choice but to continue living in a neighborhood in which they were universally hated and constantly talked about behind their backs. I can't see them finding another victim anytime soon.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Courtney, where the hell are you? I am starving. Where is my damn dinner?
Sorry, Sandra. My daughter won't stop crying, so I'm outside trying to quiet her down.
She is still crying? She's been crying all day.
I know. Her diaper has changed and she just had her milk. I don't know what's wrong.
It's been 6 months now. When are you gonna learn how to make your own baby stop crying? Are you sure you are her mother?
She isn't always cranky like this. Usually she settles down when I hold her.
She's so loud, though. I think you forget that I live in the same house.
I'm sorry for all the noise.
What are you going to do if I get sick from not resting well? I need at least 8 hours of good sleep. I am very sensitive about my health, you know. And you haven't been keeping up with housework lately.
Sorry, but you have to understand, I am very short of sleep too. I don't have any energy left. Can you please help me with the chores? I can't do everything while holding the baby.
What are you talking about? You can't make your own mother-in-law do any chores.
Not all of it, of course. But can you at least do your own bit? You know, like your own laundry and preparing your own food?
So, you're saying you can't do it either? Because you have to hold the baby? Then why don't you hold her while you do your work?
Sandra, you know that's not possible. How do you expect me to cook while holding the baby?
I will absolutely not do any housework. I hate cooking, I have arthritis, and I can't do laundry.
I will make breakfast and lunch then, so can you make dinner? My daughter tends to cry in the afternoon. So if you can help me while she's most cranky, that would really help.
No way. I want my dinner to be the best meal of the day.
Can you at least vacuum the floor then? Perhaps just the first floor?
I have a bad knee, so no. Don't you get that I'm too old for any housework? If you find keeping the house so difficult, then why don't you ask my son to help you with the baby?
I can't ask him because he's so overworked. In fact, he's probably more sleep-deprived than I am. He does help me on the weekends, but I feel so bad asking him to help on weekdays.
How pathetic of you two. You only have one daughter. I raised 3 boys all on my own. Your hardship is less than a third of mine.
But my husband told me his grandparents practically raised him. You got help from your parents, didn't you?
Like I said, I had 3 boys. You shouldn't need any help when you only have one girl. Ah, young people are so sad nowadays. They don't teach enough about perseverance at school anymore. I just ran into Miss Thomas from next door. She gave me loads of tomatoes picked from her garden.
Oh, that's so nice of her.
I'll be back in a minute and would like to have lunch right away. I am starving. I could faint.
Sorry, Sandra. I was taking a quick nap while my daughter was sleeping. I will make something right away.
Unbelievable. You were sleeping when you should have been working?
I haven't been feeling well today. I was only going to sleep for a few minutes, but ended up resting for a bit longer than that. But I can prepare something quickly.
You are just pretending to be sick.
No, I mean it. My temperature is quite high.
How high?
100.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh well, I guess that is a bit high. You better not have come down with the flu.
I don't know. I'm feeling quite nauseous, and my stomach is a bit upset too.
It could be a stomach flu then.
Maybe.
Well, what if you get me infected? You know my condition could get worse from something like that. Don't you dare splatter germs all over the house.
I'm not coughing. And I don't think it's anything serious. I'm sure you'll be fine.
You don't know that? I could catch whatever you have and have different symptoms. I could even end up with pneumonia.
Perhaps you are right. I'm sorry.
Make sure you don't get me sick. Don't leave your room.
Well, I cleaned all over the house this morning like you told me to. I went into your room and wiped your windows too.
Why would you pollute my room with your germs?
I thought you would get mad at me again if I didn't. You won't do any housework, so who else is going to? I do all the cooking and cleaning and washing every day because if I don't, the house will become a huge mess in a matter of days. Isn't that what you wanted me to do?
I would rather eat instant noodles if I have to eat food full of germs.
Would you? Wow, that would be so helpful.
This is a temporary measure, though. Don't you forget. And you need to disinfect every part of the house you touched with alcohol. Get it done before I am home.
Sure.
I need you to get back on housework as soon as possible. So you need to go to the doctor and get your problem fixed.
Okay, I can do that. Thank you.
This is so annoying. Why are you so useless? Go as soon as you are done with the disinfection.
Sure. Oh, but I can't take my daughter. I will ask my husband to watch her and go to the clinic tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow? No, that is too late. You need to go right away.
But she is really cranky right now. There is no way I can take her. I won't even be able to drive with her crying like this.
She's crying again. Fine then. I will show you how it's done. Leave her with me and go to the doctor right away.
You will look after her?
One-time offer, but yes.
Are you sure? She is a very sensitive baby.
Who do you think you're talking to? My skills with kids are 1,000,000 times better than yours. I can handle without an issue while you are gone to the clinic.
You said you have a bad knee, though. Are you physically able to care for her?
Don't underestimate me. I will show you how to handle babies. You must go today so you can get back to housework. ASAP. Be ready to leave her with me by the time I get back.
Thank you so much. You are a lifesaver.
Courtney, where are you? You need to get back home now.
What's going on, Mrs. Thomas?
What's going on? Are you insane? Why did you leave your baby at home by herself? She's not moving.
Wait, are you talking about my daughter?
Yes, what were you thinking?
Do you see Sandra around? She's supposed to be looking after her.
I don't think she's at home. I've been ringing the doorbell and banging on every window, but no one is answering.
I will give her a call right now.
No, we have to help your baby now. She needs to be taken to the doctor right away.
What is wrong with my baby? Why are you there, Mrs. Thomas?
I could hear her screaming from my house for a very long time, maybe like an hour or so continuously.
What?
I didn't like the way she was screaming, but then it suddenly stopped, so I got worried and came to have a look, and I see her on the floor, face down by the sofa. I think she fell off.
Oh my god, is she hurt? Is anything broken?
I can't tell. The door and windows are locked. She needs to be locked right away.
Can you please call an ambulance?
My son just called, but we can't open the door for the paramedics. How are we getting her out of the house? Can you get back right away?
Break the window. It will take at least 15 minutes for me to get back. I give you permission to break the window to rescue her. Please do it.
Okay, then I will. The ambulance will be here in 5 minutes. I'll let the paramedics take her without waiting for your arrival, but I will stay with her.
Please. Thank you so much.
I will let you know as soon as I know where she's being taken. Be ready. Hi, do you have a minute?
Hello? Mrs. Thomas, how can I help you?
Do you know what happened at your own house? Your granddaughter was taken to the hospital earlier today.
What?
We called the ambulance because we found her lying on the floor. She must have fallen off the sofa. Why did you leave the baby on her own?
Oh, well, my daughter-in-law must have left her there. I was ill, so I was sleeping in my bedroom.
She told me you were supposed to be watching her.
Did she? I'm sorry, but please don't mind. She is a compulsive liar. She always blames me for things.
Courtney does not seem like a liar to me. Were you really ill?
Yes, I was. Why won't you believe me?
Because my son saw you. He found you passed out on your bed in a room full of empty wine bottles.
Saw me when? And how? Exactly.
When we were rescuing your granddaughter, I got hold of Courtney and she gave us permission to break a window to get in.
What? You broke a window? Are you serious?
It was an emergency. We didn't know if the baby was all right. Her life could have been taken at stake.
I guess you are right.
I went with the baby to the hospital, but my son stayed behind to do something about the window. There were broken glass everywhere, so he didn't want to leave it like that. He was looking for things he could use to clean up the mess, and that is when he found you in one of the rooms.
I haven't had anything to drink.
My son said he could smell the alcohol from the outside door. He also tried to wake you up, but you were wasted.
I don't know. I don't recall any of that.
Sandra, you should admit that you got drunk and fell asleep. I understand you're upset for getting caught, but don't blame it on Courtney. I think you should tell her the truth and apologize for what happened. Why did you leave the baby on the sofa?
She wouldn't stop crying, and I didn't know what to do. I thought it would be nice and warm by the window for her to nap. I never imagined she'd move so much and fall off of the sofa.
You liar.
Huh?
This is Courtney. Mrs. Thomas is letting me use her smartphone.
I didn't know you were with her.
She let me know what was going on. Sandra, how dare you? You are a sick liar.
Excuse me?
What was that about showing me how it's done? What exactly did you want to show me, huh? A bad example?
I accidentally fell asleep. You fell asleep the other day and forgot to make my lunch too. Remember?
I would never abandon a baby on the sofa. What were you thinking? She fell off and hit her head and was lying face down. Don't you know how fragile a newborn baby is?
I didn't do any of it on purpose. You shouldn't have left the house without your baby in the first place.
You offered to look after her. She could have suffocated to death. How are you going to take responsibility if she ends up with a serious after effect or something?
Don't be so dramatic. She just bumped her head a little.
This is very serious, Sandra. A baby can die from something like this. Are you not sorry at all? I think I should report you to the police for leaving a child unattended.
What are you talking about?
Your son and I love our daughter very much. I bet he would want to report you too if he found out of what you've done. He would disown you too.
Don't be stupid.
You really don't want that, do you? Because you won't be able to live without him paying for everything or me taking care of you. You depend on us too much.
I was looking after your daughter for a while, but she wouldn't stop crying. So I ended up having a bit to drink, but I was not wasted. I think I fell asleep because I'm sick now, from the cold I got from you. That's why I was passed out and didn't hear Mrs. Thomas or her son.
Let's say hypothetically that was true for a second. It doesn't change the fact that you left a tiny baby on the sofa.
Like I said, I did that because I thought it would be cozy for her, out of thoughtfulness.
No, you just didn't want to take care of her anymore. So you left her on the sofa and retreated back to your room, which is far away from her. You just gave up and got drunk. I've had enough of your laziness. I am leaving you immediately.
Go ahead, do as you please, but don't drag my son into this.
You think he would want to live with somebody who nearly killed his daughter? Besides, why do we have to continue to take care of you? We are busy enough taking care of our baby girl. You are not worth our time. We refuse to babysit a lazy old woman like you. I was so furious that I refused to even breathe the same air as Sandra, so I never returned to the house after our last conversation. We didn't have anywhere else to go besides my parents' house, to which we were welcomed into. Mrs. Thomas helped explain the situation to my husband, who was enraged with what Sandra had done. Having understood the seriousness of the situation, he was so ashamed of his own mother. The same night, he quickly gathered our belongings and left the house. Sandra was devastated and tried to stop him, but of course, failed. Soon after, all of our remaining possessions were moved out of the house. Thankfully, my daughter didn't suffer any major injury and was discharged from the hospital after all tests came back clear. I have stayed in touch with Mrs. Thomas, who saved my daughter's life. She told me recently that Sandra's lonesome life seems to be in complete disarray. Knowing she doesn't have any money or the skill to take care of herself, I am not surprised at all. The last I heard, she's fallen ill and barely gets out of her bed. We now live peacefully in a condo, far away from her. Since we are located near my parents, they help us when we need a hand looking after our daughter. Reflecting back to my old days, though, I think it was much more difficult looking after my mother-in-law than my newborn baby.
Naya, are you still a stay-at-home housewife?
Hey, morning, Veronica.
Drop the pleasantries. I asked you a question. Why must you insist on not getting a job? You don't even have children yet. What's stopping you? Come on, I want answers.
Well, sure we don't, but we haven't even been married for a year yet. Neither of us are in any rush. We just want to enjoy our time together for now. And we wouldn't be able to do that if I was out working all the time. Cal says he's really happy with how things are right now.
You've been wasting my son's money ever since you two tied the knot, haven't you?
Huh? No, not at all. What makes you think that?
Because he keeps sending me less and less money. I barely get $400 a month now. It was $1,600 before you got your claws into him. Why else would my allowance have gone down so much?
Sure, our outgoings did increase when we got married, but the cost of living is going up, you know. Everyone's feeling the pressure right now.
Do you think I live under a rock, young lady? I know that. That still doesn't explain such a mammoth decrease. I know that this is your doing. I've tried asking Kyle for an explanation more times than I can remember. But all he ever says is, that's the best I can do. Talking to that boy's like drawing blood from a stone. He barely responds to my messages at all these days.
He's a busy man.
I can't get by on $400 a month, and it is not acceptable to hang your mother out to dry like this, young man. Be a darling and pass that along to Kyle for me. He'll listen to you. I have a right to any money you don't spend.
Veronica, me and Kyle are husband and wife. It's very important that we're able to save money for the future. We're not trying to make things difficult for you, but we have circumstances of our own to deal with. $400 a month really is the best we can do.
You've got some nerve to speak like you have custodial rights over my money, you impertinent little thief. I knew it was your fault my allowance took a hit. Always trust your gut.
No, actually, Kyle's the one who decides on the amount.
But you would say that, wouldn't you? You act like you're some innocent third party, but I know you're the puppet master pulling the strings behind the scenes. You want my son's hard-earned money all to yourself, don't you? You do well to remember you're nothing but a stay-at-home housewife. You hit the jackpot when you married my Kyle. Look at the house you get to live in for crying out loud. You lead a privileged existence. I know he has more than enough left over to look after his poor aged mother. What do you even need money for? My son pays all the bills and takes care of you completely. Not like me. I live all on my own. I'm lost without that money.
Like I told you, saving is important to us. We might not have kids now, but we hope to one day. And how much we save right now will make a huge impact on how things go when the day comes. Anything that doesn't go on necessary living expenses goes straight into a savings account. We're definitely not wasting it like you seem to think.
But you would say that, I wonder. You know, I'd never known anyone as lucky as you. A low IQ high school dropout whose highest professional achievement is flipping burgers at Peep Donald's, bagging herself an elite top earner on a 6-figure salary, That kind of thing just doesn't happen. Talk about rags to riches. You may not be a poverty-stricken loser anymore, but you probably still have a poverty mindset, which means it's dangerous for you to have access to my son's wallet. I bet you're getting carried away with your newfound riches and blowing my son's money on frivolous junk.
Actually, we live on a tight budget while putting as much as possible into a savings account every month. I haven't wasted a cent of Kyle's money, I swear.
In that case, why has my monthly allowance shrunk to virtually nothing? I didn't want to have to say this, but you forced my hand. The only reason Kyle landed a job at such a major company is because I paid for him to go to a top university. Nothing happens without a cause, and the cause of my son's success is me.
I don't deny it. I'm sure he owes you a lot. But that doesn't discount his own persistence and hard work.
The only reason he knew how to work hard in the first place is because I taught him to. I hope you're not forgetting that I still haven't acknowledged you as my son's wife or as a member of this family. Naya, the only reason I went along with the marriage in the first place is because he stubbornly insisted you were the only woman he wanted. But believe me, I wasn't happy about it. You do well to remember that.
Yes, I remember. That's why I'm doing my best to win your approval.
Doing your best? You could have fooled me. I can only conclude you're actually trying to make me hate you after having my monthly allowance reduced like this.
I'm doing my best to win your approval by supporting Kyle. That's my job as his wife.
It may be one of them, but I can assure you you have more responsibilities than that, young lady. You don't just have duties to him, but to this family as a whole. That means you're to discuss the matter of my shrinking allowance with him ASAP. If you don't, I'll see to it that he starts thinking about divorcing you. I mean it. I just checked this month's bank statement to see how much allowance I got. You know what I'm about to say, don't you?
That you got the same as last month?
So you do know then. You better have a good reason for not doing what I told you. Did you forget about that little chat we had last month?
Not at all. I just want you to understand that we have our own circumstances and our own lives to lead.
So my circumstances and my life mean nothing to you.
That's not what I meant. Don't you have a retirement fund? Not only that, but surely you have some of your husband's inheritance left over.
My husband's inheritance? Pfft, don't make me laugh. He barely left me anything. Why do you think I was so reliant on the money Kyle was sending? How am I supposed to live on a third of the original amount? My quality of life's in the dumps because of you.
There's no way you should be struggling this much. I can only assume you must have been overspending back when he was sending you more. Cal told me the other day how you used to go on vacation every month. I don't mean any disrespect when I ask this, but surely that's a little excessive for an elderly widow with very little income of her own?
Are you bringing my spending habits into question? How dare you? What's wrong with letting my hair down by going vacation once a month? Would you really see one of my few joys in life stolen away from me? You're heartless.
You own your house, so it's not like you have to shell out crazy amounts on rent or anything. I'm pretty sure you could still manage a vacation once every few months if you tighten your belt and only spent money on necessities. Veronica, will you please reevaluate your spending habits?
I'm telling you this precisely because I still don't have enough, despite only spending on necessities, numbskull. Ugh, I'm not sure there's even any point in talking to you. I've had more productive conversations with brick walls. By hook or by crook, I will get my money. If you refuse to increase my allowance, then you can see to it that I get my money by finding a job. You make a big song and dance about how supporting Kyle is so important to you. But it doesn't look like you're supporting him at all from where I'm standing.
How about you get a job, Veronica? Surely part-time work wouldn't be too difficult. You're still in excellent health, and you're clearly still full of energy if you're well enough to go on vacation all the time.
Good grief. You'd see your elderly mother-in-law out pushing trolleys at some supermarket surrounded by brain-dead morons. You horrify me. I do not take orders from ex-burger-flipping gold diggers. You won't get away with this.
What does the fact I used to flip burgers have to do with your inability to live within your means?
I've had it with you. I'll talk to my son instead. Why am I even wasting my time talking to such a sponging parasite?
Feel free to try, but he told me he had no interest in discussing the allowance with you. Why do you think he brushes you off every time you pester him about it?
Irrelevant. I'm not satisfied with what you're telling me. And that's that. I'll force the issue if I have to. I'll be paying you two a visit on his next day off.
Do what you like, but we won't be able to let you in.
You think that's going to stop me? See to it that you have the remaining $1,200 ready when I come. I won't go home until I have it. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Make your choice. Naya, are you there? Is it true you moved away? Kyle said you don't live on Granville Street anymore. I knocked 1,000,000 times, but no one answered. And I couldn't see any signs of life through the windows either.
Kyle burst out laughing when you told him you were actually outside the house.
You think this is funny? I made it very clear I'd be paying you a visit.
And I made it very clear we wouldn't be able to let you in. Did you think I was lying?
I just found out something even worse. Why did my son reduce my monthly allowance to $100? He's an elite top earner with a wallet fatter than the average American. This is all because you won't stop wasting his money, isn't it? Ugh, you will pay for this.
Hey, Veronica, guess what? I have something else to tell you. Your son makes $500 a month. He's not as elite as you seem to think.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? He's an elite top earner at a major company. Like Hallie makes $500 a month.
He quit his job as soon as we got married.
Who quits their job when they get married? That doesn't make sense. How have you been getting by all this time? The rent on your house alone is over $1,300.
I help out with the finances.
Don't screw me around, Naya. I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you here. How could a jobless ex-burger flipper possibly help out with the finances? Aha! I get it. You must have been working in the service industry to supplement his income. I always had you down as the type.
Wrong. I freelance from home. The only reason I was flipping burgers at Peep Donald's when we met was because my friend asked me to cover some shifts for a coworker who was off sick. My main work has always been freelancing online.
Bull crap. I don't believe you for 1 second. Why would my son throw away a high-earning job at a major company? And to do what? Be a stay-at-home husband? Your pack of lies falls apart at the first hurdle. Besides, he never told me any of this.
That's because he was afraid of what you'd say. You stress him out.
Huh? I do what now?
Every time you don't approve of something he does, you bombard him with complaints so hard, he feels like blocking you. He quit his job because he was struggling mentally. That's why I've been the only one talking to you recently. After discussing it, we decided the mental burden of engaging in conversation with you just wasn't justifiable given where he's at right now.
Speaking to me is a mental burden? I'm his mother, for heaven's sake. I'm the one who raised him into the elite, highly accomplished man he is. He owes me a debt of gratitude.
And you made sure you never let him forget about that alleged debt of gratitude, didn't you? You used it as an excuse to extract as much money as possible out of him, regardless of how he felt about it. Kyle got into that elite university because he studied diligently and worked hard, and he landed his job at that major company for the same reason. He went to a normal public high school. He covered his tuition fees through a scholarship and part-time work at a shoe factory. At what point do you come into the equation? Despite having almost nothing to do with his success, you take credit for his achievements as if they were your own.
The only reason that boy is one of life's winners is because of me.
The fact you view life in terms of winners and losers is pretty repulsive, to be honest with you, Veronica. Maybe Kyle looks like a winner to you, but mentally, he's a wreck, and he went through hell at that company you seem to think is so amazing. He's a million times happier, working part-time and helping out around the house.
My son works part-time?
Yep, that's why he makes $500 a month. You were getting $400 of that, while he was only keeping $100 before he slashed your cut again. See? The numbers add up.
Oh my god. My son, my own flesh and blood, only makes a proxy $500 a month. This better be some kind of joke.
I've never told you a joke in my life. You don't strike me as the type to know how to take one.
I don't believe any of it, that you pay the bills by working on the internet. I don't believe my son quit his prestigious job to work part-time. And I don't believe he's going through a mental health crisis. I don't believe a single word. To think you cook up such a preposterous pack of lies just to trick me into accepting my allowance being cut. You truly sicken me, Naya.
All I did was tell you the truth. Kyle's doing a lot better lately. We were going to tell you everything when he felt up to it.
You're disturbed if you think it's normal to lie about things like this. I suggest you get the hell away from my son and go see a shrink. Let me speak to him.
You're messaging my number.
Don't get clever with me, girl. You know what I damn well mean. Arrange a meeting.
Veronica, I'm not sure how you don't get it yet, but we're done with you. You won't see me or Kyle ever again.
What?
The remaining $100 of your allowance will be getting cut starting next month. So, I suggest make what you have last. Something tells me it's gonna be a while before you go on holiday again. We're done helping you. We decided on this together after a long discussion, and Kyle's mind is made up. Let him go.
Do you seriously think you can cut off my allowance and there won't be any consequences? You won't get your way, mark my words. I want my son back. Make your preparations for the divorce, and I want a groveling apology while you're at it. Hey, Naya. Are you there, sweetie? I know you're probably busy, but I'd really appreciate if you could reply to me. Please, I need to talk to you. Even if this is the last time we ever speak, there's something I need to tell you.
What do you want?
Phew, thank God for that. I was worried I wouldn't be able to get through to you because my messages don't seem to be reaching Kyle anymore. Thank you so much for replying, sweetie.
I'll be changing my number soon too, so you better make it quick.
Surely there's no need for that. I won't be able to speak to you anymore.
Exactly. We don't want anything to do with you. Anyway, what did you want to tell me? Get to it. I don't have all day.
Naya, I'm so sorry for everything. I messaged you today because I wanted to apologize.
What's gotten into you? Did you eat some mushrooms from the yard or something? You seem like a different person than yesterday.
I just called my son's company. They told me all about how he quit a few months back. It was just like you said.
Yep.
I finally know you were telling the truth now. Everything I said before, I said not knowing you were supporting my poor son through such a difficult time. I said some horrible, horrible things, and I regret it all from the bottom of my heart. I'm so sorry, sweetie.
I don't need your apology. Doesn't change anything. I'd rather you focus on becoming a decent human being and stop bugging me.
Please don't be so cold, Naya. There was something else I was hoping to discuss with you. It's about my allowance. Did you really mean it when you said I wouldn't be getting any more money after next month?
Yep.
Won't you please reconsider? I said I'm sorry, and I genuinely feel bad for everything I said to you. Even returning to the $400 arrangement would be fine with me, sweetie. I've done some calculations and I think I could just about get by on that.
Are you really sorry? Why can't you get by on your retirement fund like everyone else your age?
Listen, Naya, I never told you this, but I went into debt. That's why my retirement fund alone isn't enough to get by on anymore.
Well, even though you had your husband's inheritance, it's funny. You always accused me of being frivolous and wasteful. But turns out, you're the one throwing money down the drain all along.
You're right. I'm begging you. Please just keep sending my allowance for 3 more years.
If you only need $400 a month, I'm sure you could get by with a part-time job. You'd probably even have spending money left over.
I haven't been so steady on my feet lately. Even just going to the store and back feels like a challenge.
Didn't you go all the way out to our old house yesterday?
I got a taxi.
And how much did that cost you? It's precisely because you do stupid crap like that you have no money left.
Oh, please, that was a one-off. I hardly ever use taxis. I'll reduce my spending from now on, I swear. Please, I'm begging you, just don't stop sending that money.
Kyle already sent you way more money than you deserve. We sent you so much for so long that we barely ever got to put aside anything for ourselves or our future.
But his salary must have been enormous before he quit his job. My boy was an elite top earner after all.
Just because he used to work for a major company doesn't mean he's rich. He was just a regular office worker. Something tells me he didn't make even nearly as much money as you think he did. Besides, he gave you money outside of the monthly allowance sometimes, didn't he? You had more than your fair share of the fruits of his hard work. It's time you stood on your 2 feet for a change.
I want to apologize to him properly.
He doesn't want to see you or speak to you ever again, so you can keep your apology. Want to know what me and Kyle want more than anything in the world right now? For you to disappear.
Oh my god, Naya, don't be so cruel. I'm your mother-in-law, and I'm begging you. Please just give me one more chance. I swear I won't let you down.
Sorry, you already used up all your chances. You're lucky he kept sending you money for so long despite your despicable attitude. I told you countless times to reevaluate your spending and figure out how to get by on your own. Anyone could have seen this coming. Well, anyone except you, apparently.
I told you, the only reason I was like that is because I thought you were wasting his money. I should have listened.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. You called me a parasite, didn't you?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything. Everything I said, everything I did, all the pain and suffering I must have caused you both. I'm not exaggerating when I say this is probably the most sorry a human being has ever been. Please, won't you believe me? I'll never do anything like that again. Please don't cut off my allowance, even if you just keep it going for a little while longer. I'm begging you.
Too little too late, Veronica. You're the biggest parasite there is. I hope you spend the rest of your life in soul-crushing isolation, tormented by the pain of guilt and regret over how you treated me and your son. At least you'll have plenty of time to think about your behavior now. The problem with parasites is that they keep coming back unless you get rid of them completely. Which means I have to block you now. See ya! As promised, I blocked my mother-in-law immediately, and me and Kyle never spoke to her again. I also changed my number, just to be safe. A new SIM card was a small price to pay for removing the mother-in-law from hell from my life. It's almost difficult to express the overwhelming sense of relief we felt when we finally cut her off. Kyle was tormented for years by the manipulative, controlling behavior of his mother. He was raised being constantly told that he'd never be good enough unless he landed a well-paying job at a major company. I guess you could say it worked if your only standards for success in life is being viewed as successfully by others. But at what cost? Was it really worth all of the suffering and hardship he went through? Success is an abstract concept that means something different to everyone. One man's idea of success is another's idea of hell. Kyle had to break things off with his mom for a long time, but he found it difficult to break free of the psychological stranglehold she'd had him trapped in since he was a little kid. He told me the counseling sessions he received to heal his wounded psyche after being overwhelmed by the stresses of work were the trigger that led to him finally mustering up the courage to do what he needed to do. He said it felt like a weight had been lifted off his shoulders when we finally washed our hands of her. Freedom at last! I get the feeling Veronica's in for a world of financial hardship from here on out. But that's 100% her fault, and I don't feel an ounce of sympathy for her. Even if she showed up pleading for help, emaciated, dressed in rags, and crying floods of tears on our doorstep, I still wouldn't give her the leftovers for my dinner. You might think that sounds harsh, but there are some things you just don't forget. Thankfully, we moved as far as possible to ensure that kind of thing would never happen. She doesn't have a hope in hell's chance of tracking us down. Kyle quit his part-time job when we moved, and he currently contributes by helping me out with my freelance work and doing things around the house. I couldn't be happier to see him back to his old self. I was genuinely worried back when he quit his job due to stress. He was a shadow of his former self, and even housework seemed like it might send him over the edge. I'm gonna carry on caring for and supporting him, just like he does me. And we're both gonna give it our all to build a happy home, full of love and warmth. Here's to our future!
Hey Maddie, you there? I just wanted to let you know that we've come back home.
Oh, wow, I haven't heard from you in a while, Cade. What do you mean that you've come back home?
I mean that we're back. And we're here back at Mom and Dad's, and we're going to be living here from now on.
Really? I didn't know about that at all. Did Dad say that was alright? I don't remember him even ever mentioning that you were going to be moving here.
Well, I already apologized to him and everything that happened between him and I. And it's not like he ever said that we couldn't come back to live with him, so...
Are you sure about this? I really feel like I would have been told if this was going to be happening. I really don't have a good feeling about this.
Well, we're already here, so there really isn't much that needs to be done now. Besides, I'm sorry to you for everything that's happened, okay?
Right. Thanks for that, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry, whatever, jeez. I'm sorry for not showing up at Mom's funeral. I'm sorry for selling your favorite violin to strangers online. I'm sorry for all of that stuff.
I appreciate you apologizing, but you do know that there's a vast difference between apologizing and being forgiven, right?
Of course I know all of that. But back then I was just in a lot of debt and under a lot of pressure that made me do crazy things.
You even sold Mom's wedding dress, though. Were you really that desperate? You have no idea how sad it made Dad and I to hear that you'd done that.
And I'm really sorry for all of that. I also promised to pay everyone back for the trouble that I caused them.
You're gonna pay us back for all that. You're sure about it?
Well, Dad is just living at home all by himself, right? So Vicky and I are going to move in with him and we'll help take care of him and pay off our debts to him that way.
Wait a second, is that why you kept using we? Who's Vicky? Did you get married without telling us or something?
I guess I forgot to mention that as well. But it's okay, it's not like we even had a big wedding or anything like that.
So then even your wife is on board with moving in with our dad?
Of course, and I've already talked to Dad about it, so it's all fine. In fact, it was my wife who was so upset with me when I told her the way that I used to be. She was the one who said that we should move back and take care of Dad in order to pay back for all of the bad things in my past.
I see. Well, I think that she sounds like a really good partner for you then, Cade.
I would like to think so. But the only thing that I'm really worried about is living in a house that's so old that it's almost falling apart.
That's a good point. I mean, that house is older than either of us at this point.
Yeah, I'm having a kind of hard time wrapping my head around it all now that I'm back. And was the house always this dark?
Dad let some of the light bulbs go out in the house and just hasn't bothered to change any of them. Which makes me wonder, are you going to be okay in a dark house like that? I remember when we were little, you used to not even be able to go to the bathroom by yourself at night after watching a scary movie.
Oh, come on. Did you just seriously ask that? Of course I'm gonna be fine. I'm not some little kid anymore, you know?
Well, if Dad said it was okay, then I won't put up any fight to you coming back. But I just want to make clear that what you did in the past was theft. Plain and simple. You weren't responsible with your money, so you started taking others' money to pay off your debts. You even stole precious items that belonged to family and friends just to make ends meet. In a word, you really betrayed us. You know that, right?
I know. And I'm really genuinely sorry. I'm not asking you to trust me just because I'm coming back here. I want you to know that I'm really trying to turn a new leaf and I want to be a better person.
That's good to hear, little bro. It really is. And just what made you want to come back home so suddenly anyways?
Well, I finally managed to pay back all of my debt and things have finally really settled down for me. So after all of this reflection that I've been doing, I decided, at my wife's urging, I wanted to try to help take care of Dad.
Well, okay, I certainly hope that's the real reason for all of this. But if you repeat the same behavior that you did before, I am never, ever going to forgive you. And if I find out that anything has been stolen or gone missing, I'll be reporting it to the police and explaining your past history.
Well, I think that's only fair that you would say that after everything.
Don't betray Dad again, Cade, I mean it. He's older and slower now and he needs care.
I know, and that really is why I wanted to come back and be there for him, I swear. And I'm sorry that you even have to say these things to me, although I know I deserve hearing them.
I'm just glad that you seem to be really genuine in your apology, Cade.
Well, I'm already 30 years old, and I can't just be that person that I was anymore. It's time that I finally grew up.
I'm glad that you feel that way. Anyways, I'm gonna head over to the house as well right now.
You're going to come here? Like, right now? I thought that you lived in the next state over, right?
I do, yeah, but if your wife is gonna be moving in with you as well, I at least have to say hi to her. I mean, she's the sister-in-law I never even knew I had. It would be rude not to.
I know, but we're going to be really busy here unpacking and taking care of the house and stuff. Maybe we could just do like a video call or something like that?
No, I really don't mind the drive at all, and I can help you both in getting set up around there. Besides, I really want to meet her, Cade. But if you really want some time, I can give that to you. I think the next time that I'll be able to go down to the house would be around the summer.
I think we would rather go with that, if that's okay with you. And then I'll have no problem introducing you to Vicky around then.
Okay then. I'll see you soon. And please take good care of Dad. Hey there, Cade. Where are you guys right now?
I'm at the casino with Vicky right now. Can't talk. Kind of busy.
Oh, Cade, don't tell me that you've started gambling again. Don't you remember that's what landed you in all of that debt in the first place?
I know, but this time I'm just doing it for fun. I'm not putting anything crazy on the line. There is no way that I'm going to walk away from this with any sort of financial problems at all. Anyways, what is it? What did you have to talk to me about?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that I'm home. At Dad's home, that is. But there's no one here and I can't get a hold of Dad either right now.
Oh yeah, Dad is pretty busy too today, I think.
He is? Well, do you know what he's busy doing?
Well, I imagine he's busy since he pretty much just moved out of the house. He's probably unpacking somewhere or something.
Wait, what? Dad moved out of the house? What's that supposed to mean? Did something happen? Why would he do that?
I don't know, but he said he was giving the house and we didn't make any complaints. I guess maybe he just wanted to give me a second chance with my own house.
But that doesn't make any sense. That house was more than big enough for all of you to live in. Did something happen that you're not telling me, Cade?
There's not really anything that I can think of. Dad just kind of packed up his things and said that he was leaving one day.
Well, do you even have any idea where he is right now?
I seriously have no clue at all, Maddie. He probably found some room to rent and an apartment to move into. That's probably why he moved out in the first place.
But you said that you were moving there to take care of him, remember? You said that's what you wanted to do to make up for your past.
Well, I can't help it if Dad chose to move out of his own free will. Why are you trying to spin all of this back on me, huh?
I just want to know why it was that Dad chose to move out suddenly when he's had no problems being in that house before.
Well, then why don't you go and ask him yourself, because I had nothing to do with it.
That really just doesn't sound right to me. I mean, he spent decades of his life in that house. He wouldn't just leave.
Well, he did, and now he's gone, and the house is mine, okay?
And Dad said that you could have the house. He said those words.
Of course he did. So you need to stop thinking of it as Dad's house and start thinking of it as mine and Vicky's place, got it?
This was always your plan, wasn't it? You never came back just because you wanted to help take care of Dad. You just wanted to try to push him out of his own home.
Oh, please, don't go making accusations like that if you can't prove them. Anyways, I've already explained to you the facts of what happened. So if you ever want to visit our hometown again, I'm sorry, but you'll just have to rent a hotel room. We can't just be letting anyone into our private home now.
Hey there, Maddie. I'm so sorry that I'm just getting back to your messages right now. I was doing a lot of moving boxes and unpacking, and I finally just reached a resting point right now.
Oh, Dad, finally. I've been waiting all day to hear from you. Where are you right now?
You know that old-timey convenience store in Old Town, right? Well, I'm renting a room in the apartment building right across the street from it.
But, Dad, those are some of the nastiest looking apartments in town. Why would you go there?
You know, that's what I thought too, but it's really just bad on the outside. The inside is actually surprisingly luxurious.
Oh, Dad, I'm so confused. Did you really let Cade and his wife take the house from you? Cade told me that you said he could have it and that you just walked out with all your stuff. I know that can't be the whole truth, though. Something must have happened.
The truth of what happened is that those two sneaky little rats stole the deed to the house.
I knew something like this was going to happen. But, Dad, you should have said something to me. I would have done something to help you. You can't just let Cade go back to his old ways and think that he can take whatever he wants from people.
No, trust me, I'm not just rolling over to them. They're going to learn just what a huge mistake they've made in good time.
What does that mean?
Well, you know how old that house is, right, sweetie?
I mean, it's not the shiniest, newest house or anything like that, that's for sure.
It's okay, Maddie. You can say that. The whole place is falling apart. I really don't mind. In the past, I thought of selling the house and the land and just letting someone turn that space into a parking lot or something. So now that I've been forced out of the house, the timing couldn't be better for me to do so.
But I thought you said that they stole the deed of the house, right? So how can you sell the house if you don't have that?
Oh, don't worry. I've already thought way ahead of them stealing that from me.
You have? You mean you knew something like this was gonna happen?
I just thought it was better to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. Anyways, you remember how scared Cade used to be of the dark, right?
Sure I do, but what does that have to do with anything?
Well, it wasn't just the dark he was afraid of. Remember how scared he used to be of all the creaking and weird sounds the house used to make? We always told him it was because the house was built on top of an old battlefield, remember?
I remember we would tell him that we wanted to scare him into thinking the house was haunted.
Exactly. Now you're starting to put it together.
But that was years and years ago when we were just little kids. You don't think that you can make him scared of this place like that again, do you? Besides, he has this Vicky woman. There's no way that she would fall for any kind of haunted house shtick.
No. Apparently she is quite the little scaredy cat as well.
You're kidding me. I've never met her, so I really have no idea.
You know that one door on the second floor that never ever closes? She always gets so freaked out when she thinks she's closed it, but she comes back and it's opened.
Oh, yeah, it was from that year we got really bad rain and the water damaged the wood in that part of the house, right?
That's right. Anyways, once I figured out that she had some kind of problem with that room, I started leaving more of my belongings in there. And there's a bunch of other problems I've worked hard to build up as mysterious stuff happening around the house. Leaky faucets, books falling off of shelves, the whole 9 yards. So I think that you can expect them to call you about some of this stuff pretty soon.
Why would they be calling me about any of this?
Well, I told them not to bother calling me about anything to do with the house, so I think if they were to call anyone, it would be you. Let me know when they do, and I'll tell you exactly what to say to get them out.
And you really think that this is going to be enough to get them out of the house?
Of course. I bet that you won't even need my help to scare them. After all, you know basically as much about the house as I do. You just need to really play it up, and it'll work. I swear.
I really hope that you're right about this, Dad. But, okay, if this is the plan you've put into motion, I'm on board. But first, I want to speak with my lawyer about this for a little bit and see if there isn't a way that we can make sure they stay out.
I am sorry to suck you into this little plot of mine, Maddie.
It's no problem. I was just really hoping that Cade really had put his ways behind him. But also, I brought presents for you, so could you at least tell me where you're living so I can bring them over?
Sure, but it's still quite a bit of mess around here.
That's no problem. I can help you clean up around your new place. Sounds to me like you've already been really busy moving everything out of there by yourself.
Okay then, sounds good. And in exchange, you can pick anywhere to go for dinner, and it'll be my treat.
Maddie, are you there? I think that something is seriously wrong with the house and I'm starting to get really freaked out. Do you think that you can come over and check it out?
Sorry, Cade, but I'm actually quite busy right now and don't really have time for this. Besides, it's your house now, right? Why don't you fix something if it's broken?
It isn't my house though. I haven't changed the name on the deed or anything. So it's still our old house. So please just get over here right now.
What's the matter with the house? You just upset because it makes noises or something? It's an old place. I really don't think that you could expect anything else from it.
It's not just that. Ever since Dad left, some really freaky stuff has been happening. It's more than just the usual weird old house noises. There's water dropping and a bunch of other stuff that I've never seen before.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't know about any of that. Maybe the house is just getting extra old.
It's not that. I'm telling you that something is going on around here. I really think that the whole house might be haunted.
Cade, come on, you're 30. Do you really think that you live in a haunted house?
I really don't know. You remember how you always used to tell me our house was built on top of that old burial ground or something? Well, lately I've noticed more weird noises, doors opening after I've closed them, and so many other things. I really think that there might be a ghost or even ghosts. And the worst part was that last week, I even hired a psychic to come over, and they didn't even do anything.
Well, did they see or say anything about this so-called haunting?
No, but they still charged the full $2,000 for the service.
Hold on a second, you paid someone $2,000 to come into the house and look for ghosts?
Not just anyone, it was a real psychic. I looked them up online and everything. I thought that they were legit, which is why I hired them.
I really just don't even know what to say. Do you expect me to pity you after the way you stole the house from Dad?
You know, Vicky said something the other day that made me really worried. She said that she thinks it might be the spirit of Mom haunting us because she's mad we threw Dad out.
You know what? I might be starting to come around to this idea, actually. And if it really was Mom, then I bet she'd be furious about what you did to Dad.
But what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to stay at a place like this?
I don't really think that you deserve to be living in a place like that if you ask me.
Maybe I should go and visit Mom's grave. After all, she died in the house. But maybe if I go and visit her there, her spirit will finally be laid to rest.
And if her spirit is restless, it would have to be for a reason, right? And nothing like this ever happened when it was just Dad living there. This all started when you two showed up. I think the problem whatever spirit is in your house has is with you two.
So you think that might really be Mom? Or maybe some old dead soldier?
I really have no idea who it would be, but I've never experienced anything like this. So you'll have to find your own way out of this.
Please, Maddie, you have to help us. Can you at least come over and see if you see anything wrong with the place? I tried calling Dad, but he's not answering me at all.
And why would he? Do you remember all that you did to him before you ran off and fell into even deeper debt? You sold his things, took money out of his wallet, ate his food without ever putting any back. Why do you think he would come to help you out after all that? And I imagine you've been doing similar stuff since you moved back in with him too.
I know, I made a lot of mistakes, but I was just really desperate for money.
You mean still? I thought that you said you paid everything back.
I mean, I did a bit, but I still have some left over.
I really just don't even know how to deal with you anymore. Is this why you wanted to try to take the house from Dad? Did you think you would be able to sell it and make a quick buck or something?
I didn't think that it was that bad of an idea, if I'm being honest.
Well, then I suppose the only option you have left now is to pray, Cade.
And just what is that supposed to mean? Why would I have to do that?
You know, I was trying to play this down for you so that you wouldn't freak out, but, well, I think that I might be a little psychic myself.
What do you mean? Are you serious?
I really am. And the last time I went over to the house and there was no one there, I was overwhelmed with this huge sense of dread and doom. I didn't want to spend another second in there if I didn't have to.
So then you felt it too? You really think there's something else going on here?
House, or the spirits, whatever it is. I felt something in there and it was not good. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't even be talking. Maybe Dad really did know best and he just cut you both off for his own protection from this.
Wait, what? You can't just leave me here like this. What are we supposed to do?
I think the only way to fix all this would be to set things back the way they were. You have to let Dad come home and give him the deed back. If you keep trying to sell the house like this, well, who knows what might happen to you. I'm just glad I won't be there to see it.
But if I don't sell the house, then how am I supposed to get money for my debt?
I have no idea. That's another problem for you to find your own way out of. But you had the money to hire a psychic to come to your place and look things over, right? Maybe you should have put that money towards your debts instead.
But we borrowed that money from Vicky's parents. It wasn't even money that we had to spend in the first place.
You really just don't know when to quit, do you? All you ever do is cause trouble for those around you, Cade. But if you sell the house, then I think that these spirits are never gonna leave you alone again. There won't be any way to guarantee your safety if that happens.
But something's already happening. I mean, Vicky already is saying that she doesn't feel good. Oh no, it really is starting. What should we do? Please, you have to do something to help us. I'm praying to Mom, I'm burning sage, I'm spreading the holy water, and still nothing is changing.
Cade, I can't help you out of this one. You did this, and you're the only one who's going to be able to fix it.
But I didn't even do anything wrong. I just needed to pay back my debts, that's all.
And just who took out those loans in the first place? You should have never come back home, but now you need to get out as fast as you can. A few days after that, I heard the news that Cade and his wife finally left the house. My dad texted me when he walked back into the house, all of their things were gone and they left the deed to the house on the kitchen table. I also heard through the grapevine that Cade and Vicky found jobs and began working hard to pay back all their debts. Needless to say, it was just sheer luck that Vicky happened to not feel so good when all the so-called hauntings were happening. I really didn't think that at their age they would have believed so hard in ghosts, but I suppose we all have our phobias. Dad and I visited Mom's grave and apologized for using her memory to take back the house, but we were sure she'd understand. Dad did end up selling the house in the end, and there were plans to turn it into a parking lot. As soon as construction started, however, it stopped, as human remains were found under the foundation, and people from the local university stepped in to excavate the area.
Guess what, Lori? I just got a call from my mom, and she told me my little sister got engaged.
Annie? Really? They've been together for a while now, haven't they?
Yes, they have. It looks like they have decided to tie the knot because Annie is pregnant.
She is? Oh, congratulations, Greg. You're going to be an uncle.
Thanks. I'm excited too. Mom said 2 down, 1 more to go.
Is she referring to Michelle? Oh, I'm sure she's just waiting for the right time. But I can understand why your mom would be worried. Your sister is rather unique. I can imagine how your mother would be worried of her daughter finding the right partner.
You think so? I have a lot of unique coworkers who are not married. I don't think marriage is for everyone, so as long as she is happy, Mom should be too. I agree.
But I hope she finds a partner who she can share her happiness with. Your mother would be relieved.
I'm sure she will someday. And if she asks, I will tell her that married life is also great.
Oh, I feel the same way. I am so happy I found you. Do you know when Annie's wedding will be? Will it be before or after the baby arrives?
Before the baby arrives.
Okay, I can't wait.
It might happen very fast actually, like in a month or 2. She wants to wear a wedding dress before her bump starts to show. And they only want a small family wedding, so no big planning necessary. Do you have anything important scheduled in the next couple of months?
Nope, I'm wide open. Just let me know when and I'll be there.
You said that before, but then left me on our anniversary to go see your idol on stage. I'm still holding that against you.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I couldn't miss the opportunity to see him. I promise not to do it again. I think.
Yeah. Alright, I will let you know when I hear the details of the wedding.
Oh, just to confirm, your sister will be there, yes? At the wedding?
Yes, well, I hope so. Are you still upset about her not attending ours?
Well, kind of. I mean, I don't need her to be my best friend or anything, but she told me she couldn't come to ours because she couldn't afford to. So if she attends your sister's wedding, I can't help but think, why not ours?
Our wedding also happened very quickly. It's inevitable that she couldn't arrange her schedule to attend.
But it was an important day for us.
Yeah, but, like you said, she's unique. I'm sure she didn't mean to hurt you.
I don't think she wanted to come.
She was probably just short on cash at the time. Traveling is expensive.
Greg, you know your sister makes enough. Every time I see her, she's carrying a high-brand purse.
She is?
Yes, that's one of the reasons why I think she could have made it to our wedding if she really wanted to. Plus, she's very cold to me when we see each other.
I thought you two exchanged each other's numbers and all.
Yes, but that was just a gesture. She's never replied to any of my messages.
I see. Well, Michelle is not the type to dislike someone for no reason. Honestly, I don't think she has much interest towards other people in general, so she doesn't mean anything by it, I'm sure.
You grew up with Michelle, so you probably don't see it. Something's just not right.
Don't worry about it too much. If she ever bothers you, just tell me. I'll take care of it. But regarding her not attending our wedding, everyone has different priorities, so please don't be offended.
Okay then, sorry, I didn't mean to talk badly of your family.
It's okay, I'm glad you told me. And it's nothing I can't handle.
Thanks. I'm glad I got that off my chest. I only want to get along with your family, you know?
I do. Do you want me to talk to her about it?
No, it's okay. I don't want her to think I'm complaining about how she spends her money.
Alright, I won't.
Thanks. I'll try to forget about it. I'm probably just paranoid. Greg, I'm sorry, but I really think something is wrong with your sister.
Huh? Why? What happened?
I was just chatting with Annie.
About what?
Well, she called us to thank us for attending her wedding despite short notice.
Yes, and?
She said how nice it was to be able to see everyone, and how grateful she was for everyone pitching in to make the wedding happen. She said everyone, so I asked her if her sister also pitched in.
Did she?
Yes. Michelle paid for half of the entire wedding.
Oh, wow. How generous of her.
Generous? Doesn't that make you mad? Michelle didn't want to spend her money to attend our wedding, and yet she paid for half of Annie's wedding?
Well, I guess that's a little weird.
Plus, I didn't tell you because I didn't want you to worry, but Michelle had ignored me throughout the wedding. She wouldn't even look me in the eye when I said hi.
Really? That's very mean of her.
I know, right?
Do you have any idea why she was ignoring you?
No, I don't have a clue. But I know she was talking to you like she always would, so I think she simply dislikes me.
You've only met her a couple times on special occasions, right? I don't see why she would not like you. If she were to dislike any of us, it would be me, having had fights all the time when we were young.
She was nice to you during the party I saw. Do you think she's jealous of me for marrying you? Or she doesn't like me because Michelle and I are very different?
I would agree that you two are nothing alike. She's more, how should I say this, masculine?
Masculine? You mean she is exactly like a man? Maybe she's jealous that I'm more feminine? Or maybe she doesn't like it that I'm happy with you, because she's not married and I am. Ugh, this is driving me nuts. Greg, I don't want to see her again.
Hold on, Lori. You can't just cut my sister out of the picture like that.
You want to take her side when she's the one being rude to me? Greg, I thought you would understand how stressful this is for me. Why do I have to try to establish a relationship with someone who hates me?
Sorry, Lori. I didn't mean to take sides. I will talk to Michelle. I won't mention your name or anything.
No!
Why? I can try to uncover her attitude towards you. I won't be direct.
Even if you don't mention me, she'll know. She would think I made you talk to her.
But we can't solve anything if we don't talk.
I don't think there's anything to solve. Our relationship is already ruined. You can't talk to Michelle.
You mean I can't talk to my own sister without your permission?
Who's more important to you, Greg?
You, of course. But that shouldn't mean I have to stop caring for my sister. I need to know why she is acting the way she is. And if I find out that Michelle is being mean just because she is jealous of you, then I guess I would have to change the way I feel about her too.
She'll only give you trouble, I know it. You don't know how she'll react if you start asking questions. I think we should just stop contacting her.
I don't know, Lori. That doesn't seem right to me.
Greg, I'm telling you, I want nothing to do with her from here on out. Surely you'll prioritize my feelings, won't you?
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, what's up?
I wanted to ask you something. Well,
What is it? You can ask me anything.
the thing is, did you pay for half of Annie's wedding?
Yeah, I did. Did I do something wrong? I thought a lot of people pitched in for the wedding.
Yeah, that's right. But, are you unhappy with us?
I'm sorry?
Wait, let me rephrase. Did I do something to offend you at all?
What? No. Why are you asking me this?
Okay then. Did Lori ever do anything to offend you? Why did you not want to pay to travel for our wedding, and yet pay half of Annie's wedding? I don't want to tell you how you should use your money or anything, but we kind of feel that you are treating us differently.
I'm still sorry for not making it, but I wired money in exchange for not attending yours.
You did?
Yes, I sent Lori like $3,000 so you two could use it for your honeymoon.
Why do I not know about this? Are you sure Lori knows about this?
Yes. I explained to her that I was out of the country to attend a conference for which I was a keynote speaker. I had been booked for over a year for the event, so I had no option. So in exchange of missing your wedding, I offered financial help.
No way!
She never told you?
It's the first time I'm hearing about this. She told me you said you couldn't afford, which is why she was furious to find out you paid for half of Annie's wedding, and that you have been acting cold to her. She even said she doesn't want to have anything to do with you going forward.
Ha! Interesting.
What is? What the hell is going on?
She must have used the money I sent on her own.
Lori wouldn't do that.
Then why has she kept it from you and even changed the reason why I wasn't attending? Besides, she asked me for more, you know?
What?
Yes, after I sent her the money for your honeymoon, probably because she realized that I was financially well off, she asked me to lend her another $3,000.
No.
I told her I couldn't though.
Why didn't you tell me?
She messaged me a couple of days later saying her problem has been solved and so not to be worried. She asked me not to tell you too, that she didn't want you to worry.
This is a big deal. You should have.
Now that I think of it, I probably should have. But back then, I didn't want to cause any unnecessary commotion. I knew you were really happy with her, so I didn't want to ruin anything between you two.
I didn't know she was in need of money.
I don't know if she really was in need anymore. She told me that her best friend had become a single mother, but was financially unstable. Lori said she wanted to help her, but didn't have that kind of money, but that she had to do something.
I am not aware of any of her best friends being a single mother.
Well then, hate to tell you, brother, but your wife might have a serious problem with money.
Why has she done such a thing?
There has to be a reason, but I have no idea why.
Michelle, I am so terribly sorry. I am really shocked right now.
Before you talk to her about this, it might be a better idea to do some digging first.
You mean I should investigate?
Lori probably tried to cut me out so that you don't find out about the money. She knew it was a matter of time you'd find out. That's why she tried to make me look like a bad person. She's smart and tricky and won't easily admit even if you confront her.
That's true.
You should hire a private investigator. I can help you hire one if you need.
No, that's not necessary. Let me handle this.
They can be very expensive though. Do you still have the money you saved while you were single?
Yes, that is my security money in case something ever happens, and I believe it is time to use it.
If you need any help, just let me know.
Thanks, Michelle. And again, I am sorry for even thinking there could be a possibility that you were treating us unfairly. What are you doing now, Lori?
What's up?
I thought you'd be home.
I'm not at the moment. Are you?
Yes.
Wow, you're very early.
My meeting got canceled today, so I took the afternoon off.
Oh, you should have told me you were coming home. I'm out shopping for tonight's dinner.
I see. Which store are you at?
Oh, well, I was walking around the strip mall and was about to go into the grocery store.
I'll come join you.
No, it's okay. I'll be home soon.
Why not?
I'll be in and out in no time. You don't have to come all the way down here.
Lori, I wish you would tell me the truth.
The truth?
You're not at the mall.
Yes I am. Greg, what's the matter?
You're inside another man's condo right now. I know you are cheating on me.
Don't be silly. I would never cheat on you.
I hired a private investigator to watch you. I just got a call saying you were at a man's house again.
A private investigator? Why?
Because I found out that you were doing things behind my back. Lori, you used up the money my sister gave us as a wedding gift without telling me, didn't you?
Did Michelle tell you that?
I'm sorry. I asked her even though you asked me not to. But I will not apologize again because I know the truth now.
Greg, I'm so sorry, but I'm not cheating on you.
You have been spending most of your time at that man's house while I'm at the office.
I'm his fan. He's an aspiring singer who's been my idol for years.
Yes, I am aware of that. I also know that you've been spending a lot of money on him. You stole my savings too, didn't you? Don't underestimate what a PI can find out in just a couple days.
I'm so sorry. You have to listen to me, though. I haven't done anything with him, I swear. I'm just a fan making sure he gets what he needs to make his dreams come true.
Listen to yourself, Lori. You are practically living with him and paying for everything. Do you realize how pathetic that sounds?
I'm sorry, I really am. I won't see him anymore and I'll quit being his fan.
Will you stop using the word fan? I told you not to underestimate a PI. I know you were sleeping with him, and I have proof.
No one could ever turn down their favorite idol, Greg.
You think that's a good excuse to have an affair?
No, but I won't anymore ever again. Please, forgive me.
Hell no! You not only wasted my money, but also my sister's money. It is driving me insane that you wasted it all for some guy. Plus, you tried to make me cut my sister out of our lives?
I wasn't being serious. Greg, listen, the only person I really love is you. I'm not lying. Please believe me.
You're typing those words inside another man's house. No, I want a divorce.
What?
You should be glad. Now you can spend every minute with your idol.
Greg, please listen. You have to give me another chance. We have to talk this through.
There is nothing to talk about. The next time we talk, there will be lawyers at the same table.
I want to be with you and you only. I've had a very happy marriage with you, Greg.
But you betrayed me and ruined our marriage yourself. Don't tell me sleeping with your idol doesn't count.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry.
Anyone can say they are sorry. You should have thought about it carefully before you made the decision to cheat on me. Then you would have known that I would find out sooner or later.
Please don't leave me, Greg. I'm begging you.
Why? So that your idol won't dump you for not being able to pay for him?
No, because I love you.
I can't believe any word you say. You are full of lies. You used my sister for those lies. And you stole from us.
I won't ever do that again, I swear. I will never betray you.
I don't want to have anything to do with you from here on. You are the most deceitful person I have ever met in my entire life. After our last conversation, I quickly hired an attorney and filed for divorce. She agreed to pay me back my savings she had stolen from me. In addition, she has to pay consolation money for the damages she caused. Because she was a full-time homemaker, Lori didn't have any money of her own though. Having felt responsible for their daughter's behavior, Her parents have been covering the costs so far. When her parents found out what happened, they were enraged with Lori and immediately took her under their supervision. Lori now works day and night in order to pay her parents back. She sent me multiple messages to try and get back with me. When I finally moved out of the home we used to live together, I decided to block her from messaging me once and for all. Recently, I heard that she was sued by her idol. After she lost contact with me, she started to take it out on her idol on the internet. She had posted an exaggerated, fake story of their affair, which went viral on the web. He lost an important opportunity because of what she had done and claimed that his musical career was ruined. I don't have any sympathy for the man. All I know is how grateful I am for finding out the truth and ending my marriage with her. It's been over a year since we got divorced. I was devastated when I found out who my ex-wife truly was, but recently been able to feel like myself again. My sister felt responsible for what happened and regrets not telling me sooner. But I know it all happened for a reason and at the right time. I am only grateful for her. I have made my entire family very worried of me during and after the divorce. I will focus on giving back to them for their love and support, and also focus on finding my own happiness in this new life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Lucas, I just got home. It doesn't look like you're here. Did you go out somewhere?
Oh, I'm out having pizza with my mom. This restaurant's the bomb. This is some of the best dilly darn doggin' pizza I ever had.
Hang on, what? You went out to eat, just the two of you?
Duh, you working? What were we supposed to do? Just sit around twiddling our thumbs till you got off? Would have been too late if we sat around waiting at home for you.
I get that, but still.
Oh, hey, hang on a sec. I think my mom's mad at you.
What? Why? Did I do something wrong?
You crashed into another car while you were out driving last week, didn't you? The repair cost came to almost $1,000. I just told her all about it. She almost spat her wine out all over the table. She flipped out and called you a careless moron.
I didn't crash into anyone. The guy crashed into me because he was on his phone while driving.
No way! I bet you weren't paying attention. I can't risk letting you drive the car again after this. You're dangerous.
I'm sorry.
You always were, scatterbrain. I lost count of how many cups and plates you smashed. It's like breaking stuff is a hobby of yours.
I really don't think I break as much stuff as you're saying I do.
I always tell my mom about your careless episodes. Every time, without fail, she lets out the biggest sigh and says, "Wow, she did it again." She told me earlier she wishes I married a woman who didn't have two left feet. Why you gotta be so clumsy, babe?
I'd really appreciate it if you didn't go bad-mouthing me to your mom. Every time we meet, she preaches at me about something or other. You need to pay more attention to this, or you need to stop doing that. It's so tiresome.
So? Little instruction never did anyone any harm. In fact, I think it could be just what you need. Instead of complaining, you should see it as an opportunity to focus on your energies, on learning something new. My mom's been around a lot longer than you, and she knows a thing or two about the world.
But I can tell she hates me and thinks I'm a failure as a wife. I don't think you constantly filling her head with unflattering stories about me is helping matters.
Yeah, but she's not wrong. You are a failure of a wife.
Wow. Forget it. I'm done with this conversation. When will you be getting home from your meal?
Mom will probably start getting tired soon, and so I should be back by 10 p.m. You better make damn sure that I have a bathtub full of hot water waiting for me when I get home. I want to take a nice, relaxing soak to take the edge off of the stress of being married to you.
Fine.
Hey, guess what? My mom says she's got a thing or two to teach you next time you guys see each other. Prepare for the lecture of a lifetime. She says she's gonna undo the mess your parents made and re-educate you. This should be good. I can't wait.
Wow, Lucas, can you not act like this is all a joke? Your mother's constant preaching is driving me crazy.
What's going on, Tamsin? Why are you so late home today? Usually back home before 7 p.m.
Sorry, I'll be back in 10.
Excuse me, 10 minutes? Quit dilly-dallying and get a move on, woman! Where's my dinner?
I said I'll be home soon. I bought you a spaghetti bolognese ready meal. I'll have it ready almost immediately after I get back.
How suspicious.
What is?
You never come home this late. Something's fishy going on here, and I don't like this one bit. You're up to something, aren't you? I know a rat when I smell one. Are you cheating on me?
No way!
Why are you home so late then? Explain.
Wow, Lucas, it's 10 minutes. Is there really any need for all this drama? If I was cheating on you, I'd be home a lot later than this. Anyway, it's your fault I'm home late today to begin with.
Huh? How so? What does that have to do with me?
You're the one who told me to go grab you a burger from the burger van by the station. There was a big queue, so I spent 10 minutes waiting in line. I went out of my way to go to the station after work instead of coming straight home because you wanted a burger.
I wanted a burger, huh? Did I?
Yes, you did. The only reason I went is because you said you couldn't stop thinking about big, juicy hamburgers. Don't you think accusing me of cheating when I'm going out of my way to do something for you is a little horrible?
I'm trying to remember. Nope, I never said I wanted no burger. You're lying. I don't have the faintest recollection.
Yes, you did.
You shut your goddamn lying mouth. Do not blame me for your laziness. I bet you dawdled the entire way home doing dumb women shit like looking at handbags and shop windows.
Lucas, are you drunk? You've been drinking, haven't you? I can tell. I can always tell. You're always so forgetful when there's alcohol involved.
Yo, so what if I want to enjoy a freaking beer after work? That a crime? God, I'm not even drunk at all. I can handle my drink perfectly well.
I knew it.
There's nothing wrong with having a beer before dinner, you goddamn Puritan. I was bound to want something with you making me wait so long to eat.
I'm begging you, Lucas, please don't overdo it this time. Will you just leave it at one beer for me, please? You know how much damage that stuff has done to your body. Your doctor told you to stop altogether, remember? Are you sure it's really a good idea to be drinking again?
There's no problem as long as I ain't drank too much. What is it, you think I'm not capable of controlling my alcohol intake? Ugh, stop patronizing me already.
But are you really? Isn't the reason your scans came back showing liver damage precisely because you're not capable of controlling your intake?
God damn it, woman, button it already. Forget this crap. Hurry up and come home and make my dinner. I'll be checking your phone when you get back.
Why?
Well, I need to find out whether you've been cheating on me.
Jesus Christ, Lucas, will you stop this? I told you I'm not cheating on you.
Oh, I'm sure you're probably not, but I gotta check just in case. You can never let your guard down around a woman.
Tamsin, are you there? It's me, Cornelia, your husband's mother. Why aren't you answering the phone? Where are you right now? Sorry, Cornelia, I have my phone on silent. I'm out shopping. You're what? Do you seriously think this is the time to be out shopping? Your husband collapsed. Hurry and get your ass to the hospital. You need to get over here and listen to what the doctors have to say right this instant. Nope, I can't be bothered. You can't be bothered. Your husband's in the midst of a serious health emergency and you can't be bothered? Oh my God, you're pure evil. Do you have any idea how serious this is? Yep, let me guess. He collapsed and got taken to the hospital in an ambulance, right? We've been through this routine more times than I can count. If you know, then why the hell aren't you here by his side? Hurry up and get to the hospital. He got blind drunk again, didn't he? Maybe if he didn't ignore the doctor's repeated warnings to stop drinking, then he wouldn't keep collapsing and getting rushed to the hospital like this. Surely you can see he only has himself to blame. Wait, what? Drinking? Has he started drinking again? I thought he was clean. He'd been going to those Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and everything. I guess he didn't tell you. Come to think of it, why would he? He always did like to play the model son whenever you were around. He's got one of the worst mother complexes I've ever seen. It's actually gross. Don't you speak about my son that way. How dare you speak ill of him when he's laid up in a hospital bed? Even if he is drinking again, there's no justifying your behavior. I'll speak ill of him as I damn well like. Let's face it, with the way he acts, he makes it impossible to say anything nice about him. What the hell happened between you two? How can you be this cold towards him? He's your husband. I couldn't care less about what happens to him now. They say what goes around comes around. This is him getting his just desserts. Stop it! Anyone would think you'd be worried about your husband being rushed away in an ambulance, but no, far from it. You're actually insulting him while he's lied in a hospital bed, unable to defend himself? That poor thing. You're the most horrible wife there ever was. You know what, I've had it. This ends here. If you hate my son's guts that much, then get a damn divorce. If he wants a divorce, then I'll more than be happy to go along with it. Something tells me he's not going to be so forthcoming, though. What makes you think that? He probably can't wait to see the back of you if this is what you think of him. By the sound of it, your marriage has been dead in the water for some time now. He does nothing but badmouth you whenever we see each other. Ah, of course. How could I forget the hateful stories he tells you about me behind my back? There's just one problem. They're almost all lies. He's trying to turn everyone against me, so I end up isolated and alone. The moment I make even the slightest mistake, he's off blabbing about it in the most exaggerated way possible to anyone who will listen. What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. Why on earth would he want to do that? Like I said, he's trying to isolate me. Gah, how tiresome. Will you let me know when you're ready to stop talking nonsense? I don't have the strength for this right now. It's almost like you're trying to say my Lucas is a bad person. Bingo! That's exactly what he is. You don't know his true colors because he always wears a mask around you, so you think he's Mr. Perfect. But in truth, with me, he's the most domineering, tyrannical control freak you could possibly imagine. He does nothing but complain about the state of the house despite never lifting a finger to help out with the housework. When he drinks, he's a million times worse. He shouts at me, throws things at me, he even hits me. Oh, and I kept this quiet until now, but he's also unemployed. What? Lies! My Lucas works as a top executive at a major global company. Or at least that's what he told me. Of course he did. That's a lie, too. He quit that company last year. Now, instead of working for himself, he takes my entire salary every time I get paid. Which means I can't even afford to eat properly these days. Lies, nonsense, madness! My boy Lucas would never treat anyone so inhumanely. Least of all his own wife. I don't believe you for a second. Fine, if you're intent on burying your head in the sand, I'll just have to show you the proof. Proof? Are you free to meet me now? If you are, come over to our house ASAP. It's time you learned the truth about your son.
Mom, can you believe this? Visiting hours just ended. But Tamsin was nowhere near to be seen. My wife! My very own wife doesn't even want to visit me in the hospital. What the hell's going on with her lately? I mean, let's face it, we already knew she was an object of failure of a wife, but this just takes the biscuit. How does she even sleep at night? Will you tail her off for me, Mom?
Did you speak to the doctors yet, Lucas? Did they explain to you what's wrong with you and why you ended up in the hospital?
Nope, none of them know what's wrong with me. It's a mystery. If I had to guess, I'd say I probably got food poisoning from my stupid pea-brain moron of a wife's cooking. Her cooking's so bad, I think I'd rather eat my own vomit. You should taste the stuff she calls soup. That stuff will put anyone in the hospital. Damn, what did I do to deserve this? Imagine, hospitalized by my own wife's cooking. It's actually comical when you think about how ridiculous it is. I must be the unluckiest guy in the world.
Lucas, you will apologize to Tamsin at once.
Huh? Why?
Stop blaming her for things that aren't her fault. You're in that hospital bed because you started drinking again, didn't you? You ignored the doctor's warnings and got so blackout drunk you could barely form a sentence.
What? What the heck are you talking about, Mom? All that stuff's behind me. I'm clean now. I haven't been near the bottle in years. Believe me, I take the doctor's warning very seriously.
Is that so? I tell you what, I'll go and talk to the doctor and find out for myself. Let's ask him directly and find out exactly why it is that you're lying in that hospital bed.
No, Mom, don't do it. He's been saving lives. The last thing he needs is you bugging him. Besides, he's only allowed to talk about his patients with their families.
I'm your mother, you idiot. Obviously, he'll tell me.
What the heck is with you, Mom? I already had a long chat with the doc about my situation. You shouldn't be bugging him anymore. He's a busy guy. Why won't you believe me? You seem different. What's going on?
Normally, I'd believe every word you said without so much as a hint of doubt. But I'm done blindly accepting whatever you tell me.
What's gotten into you all of a sudden? Is something happened? Is the stress of me being in the hospital making you go kooky? Now look, I get this can't be easy on you, but that's no excuse to be giving me a hard time.
Don't patronize me, Lucas. I met up with Tamsin. She's with me now, actually.
You're together? If you're with her, tell her to hurry up and visit me in the hospital. This is no way for her to be treating her husband.
I won't be telling her that.
Why not?
I saw what you did, Lucas.
Saw what?
What were all those bruises on Tamsin's body? I've never seen anything like it. What have you been doing to this poor girl?
Huh?
That's not all. She showed me your bank statements, too. You've been spending money like it grows on trees, despite not getting paid a salary for months and months. When did you stop working for Peeps Logistics? And why didn't you tell me that you were unemployed? Have you been lying to me about everything this whole time?
Oh, no. Well, I just... So it was like, No, I didn't lie to you, Mom.
You've been making Tamsin work like a dog to provide you with money to blow on frivolous junk and beer while lazing around at home, not lifting a finger this whole time, haven't you? Every time I saw you, you'd go on and on about how sick to death you were of her. You practically called her every name under the sun. But the truth is, you were in no position to be criticizing anyone, were you?
Mama, please, you have to hear me out. First of all, about those bruises on Tamsin's body, before you go off jumping to these crazy conclusions, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation as to how she got them. You see, she's always been real clumsy. She has this stupid habit of bumping into things around the house, you know, desks, doors, cupboards, drawers, that kind of thing. Surely, I don't need to tell you how careless she can be. Remember all those stories I told you about her doing dumb stuff?
She has bruises all over her body, Lucas, even on her back. You can't seriously be telling me she got these from bumping into a table. These aren't from bumping into things. I couldn't stop crying when she showed me what you'd done to her.
Now chill out, Mom. It's fine. Dry your tears. They ain't nothing to cry about.
Tamsin wants out. And you're going to go along with the divorce without so much as a complaint. Do you hear me, boy? Do you understand what the implications would be if you refused to give her what she wants? You wouldn't have a leg to stand on if she took you to court over the domestic violence. You wouldn't even be able to afford the compensation because you don't have a job. You're going to do the right thing and accept the divorce before it comes to that.
Jeez, Mom, where the heck is this all coming from all of a sudden? I'm not divorcing Tamsin. She's my wife.
Yes, you are, Lucas. If you had any sense about you, you'd do exactly what your mom is telling you to do. I can't tell you how excited I am about getting away from you and never looking back. Thankfully, I was able to get out of the house without worrying about upsetting you and facing more of your beatings because you're in the hospital.
Tamsin, is that you?
Your mom's helping me to get my things together as we speak. Forget all that crap about court and compensation. I don't have the energy for it. Just sign the divorce papers and let's be done with it.
We ain't getting no heckin' divorce. Stop being so selfish, damn it.
My mind is made up and my will is firm. I'm leaving. I never want to see your face again for as long as I live.
What brought on this all of a sudden, babe? Did I do something to upset you? I thought it was weird when you didn't visit me in the hospital, but now this?
All of a sudden? Are you being serious? I wanted out for months now. This is my golden opportunity.
Golden opportunity? I collapsed and got rushed into the hospital in an ambulance, woman, and you're calling it a golden opportunity? You're sick.
I knew it was now or never, Lucas. There was no way I was about to let this chance go to waste. I have no intention of playing the doting wife by your deathbed. I wouldn't visit you if there was a gun to my head. I'm using this opportunity to get away from you while I still can.
What'd you just say? My deathbed?
You seem to be under the impression I haven't been to the hospital, but I was there earlier today.
You came? When?
While you were asleep this morning. The doctor explained your situation to me. He said your liver and pancreas are barely functioning anymore. I was shocked, but I can't say I was surprised. Let's face it, no one can carry on drinking as much as you do forever.
Right. I wanted to talk to you about this when you visited, but you never came. You know, about the future.
I have no intention of being a part of your life as your health deteriorates while you fight your self-inflicted illness. Nor do I have any obligation to look after you. I'm sick of being your doormat and punching bag, and it ends now.
Tamsin, no, please, wait. You're my wife, baby, we're married. It's times like this where we have to be there to support each other more than ever.
Wow, you're something else. You can't seriously say you thought I'd stand by your side after everything you did to me. The only reason I didn't do this months ago is because I felt trapped and afraid. You treated me like less than dirt on your shoe. You made me feel worthless. I wanted to kill myself, Lucas. What, you think I'm suddenly going to forget all about that and start playing the loyal wife just because you just found out you don't have much time left to live?
I never meant to hurt you, baby.
What? Even though you hit and abused me on a daily basis? How could you want to do anything other than hurt me? Not only that, but you went out of your way to spread vicious lies about me behind my back to practically everyone we know. In a way, I think the emotional abuse actually hurt worse than the beatings. What even was I to you? Some tool to take out your frustrations on?
No. I love you, baby. The only reason I told everyone all those things about you is because I wanted to keep you all to myself. I thought that if I could isolate you from your friends and family, I could make you so completely and utterly dependent on me that you'd never be able to leave me, and I could have you all to myself forever.
What?
It was just my own special way of showing my feelings for you. I did it because I love you, Tamsin.
You have some serious psychological issues. If you're going to come up with excuses, at least come up with some more convincing bullshit than that. You disgust me.
It's true what the doctor said. I might not have long left. But I at least want to spend what little time I have left on this earth with you, babe. Will you stay by my side until the end?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't stay by your side if you paid me $1 million. In fact, I won't be wasting another second of my life with you. If you're going to kick the bucket, I hope you feel nothing but crushing loneliness and regret over what you did to me in your final moments.
I'm so sorry I couldn't bring myself to be honest with you all this time. Truth is, I've always struggled to be honest when I've strong feelings for someone. I was mean to all my exes too. Kinda became like this bad habit I brought with me into adulthood. I'm not perfect, Tamsin, I know that. I'm sorry I was horrible to you. You never deserved any of it, babe. I'm sorry for how much I hurt you.
Oh, look, there goes the responsibility dodging again. This is one of the reasons I find you so disgusting. I might let you off the hook if you were a 5-year-old child, but listening to a fully grown man use communication problems as an excuse to try and justify a vicious campaign of physical and emotional abuse makes me shudder. If you want someone to be there for you when you kick the bucket, I suggest you ask your mom. I'll be forgetting all about you and getting started on building my new life.
How am I supposed to fight this illness without you here by my side? Where am I supposed to find the strength without my sugar dumpling cheering me from the sidelines?
I'm not your sugar dumpling anymore, Lucas. I haven't been for a long time. Judging from how panicked you are, I'm guessing you don't have long left at all. What are we talking? Weeks? Days? I guess at least that means you won't be a burden to your mom for very long. Let's face it, no one else wants to visit you, do they?
Tamsin, do you really mean it? Are you really gonna abandon me? Are you really gonna abandon me while I'm terminally ill?
You're welcome to hate me. But believe me, you couldn't possibly hate me more than I already hate you. How about you spend your final moments bad-mouthing me to your mom, just like the good old days? Maybe that'll help take your mind off things. I can't promise she'll listen quietly and blindly accept everything you tell her like she'd used to, though. If anything, you'll be the one keeping your mouth shut while she lectures you on what a good-for-nothing lowlife of a husband you were. With that, I moved out of the house me and Lucas had been staying in together and took a flight down to Arizona to stay with my sister. I probably didn't have to go so far, but I wanted to make it as hard as possible for my terminally ill ex-husband to track me down. Cornelia became a fixture by her son's bedside, determined to be there for him during the little time he had left. In spite of everything he'd done to me, I don't hold it against her. She's still his mom, and there's nothing stronger than a mother's love. But even the constant presence of his mom didn't help make up for his loneliness, because apparently he did nothing but cry out my name as he drifted in and out of consciousness. Needless to say, I didn't visit him even once. I also ignored all of his messages and eventually decided to block him when I realized he was never going to take the hint. I heard from his mom a year later that he finally passed away. Apparently he went quietly, asleep in his hospital bed, while his mom was out picking up supplies for him. In the end, he died alone. Not long after that, to my surprise, Cornelia sent me his life insurance payout. She said she knew it could never undo what had been done, but she told me to think of it as compensation for the hell he'd subjected me to for so long. I got the impression she felt a degree of responsibility for her son's actions and wanted to do whatever she could to make up for it. I always thought Cornelia had it in for me, but I realize now that was only because Lucas was doing his utmost to make us hate each other. I see her in a totally different light now. It turns out, she wasn't so bad after all. We're both ready to move on and put the past behind us. Now it's time for me and her to forget about each other and focus on living our own lives. Here's to the future.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.